What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
5SC. Chapter 101 Cloud Shinobi Village is weak. I laughed. Advertise here. Under the sign of Hitaki Tsukumo and Nara Shikahisa. Holding a scroll of Namikaze Minato engraved with the Hokage logo. Walked into the meeting room from the outside. Mr. Luju, White Fang, your lord, Ryuyun. Namikaze Minato's performance is fairly senior. Although Namikaze Minato relies on one-hand Flying Thunder God technique. The title of Golden Glitter has been released. But in terms of seniority, Namikaze Minato, as Jiraiya's apprentice, can only be regarded as Qingshan Ryuyun's junior. Although Qingshan Ryuyun never cared about this. But Namikaze Minato cares a lot. You are not in Iwagakure, what are you doing here? But Qingshan Ryuyun is a little confused. Shouldn't this guy be in the battlefield of Iwagakure, and Jiraiya is responsible for dealing with the Iwagakure ninja? As such that, with a sunny smile as always, Namikaze Minato handed the scroll in his hand to Qingshan Ryuyun. Hokage-sama meant that he wanted me and Ryuyun-sama to change tasks and I will be responsible for dealing with Cloud Shinobi Village. Raised eyebrows slightly, somewhat surprised, but not too surprised. I picked up the scroll and looked at it. 3 minutes later, Qingshan Ryuyun smiled. Hey, old Hokage, he still has a plan. Qingshan Ryuyun is just reckless, but not stupid. How can I not see it? Sarutobi Hiruzen's arrangement is to allow Namikaze Minato to take away the glory of defeating Cloud Shinobi Village. It's a pity that these people look down on Cloud Shinobi Village too much. Not bad, Namikaze Minato, you were actually spotted by Hokage old man. Master Ryuyun, Namikaze Minato's tone is a bit complicated. Namikaze Minato also feels embarrassed in his heart for taking away the glory that belongs to others. But no way, even if Namikaze Minato behaves mildly. But in my heart, I still hope to become Hokage. And to become Hokage, you need a certain attack. Defeating the feat of Cloud Shinobi Village, Namikaze Minato didn't want to just give up. Ha 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 ha, smiled heroically, angry, it's really not there. Lord Ryuyun, if you, Namikaze Minato knows that Qingshan Ryuyun is a ninja who never abides by the rules. If Qingshan Ryuyun really doesn't listen to this order, Namikaze Minato can't help it. However, before this was finished, Qingshan Ryuyun waved his hand and interrupted him. Nothing to say, Lousy agreed. This, Namikaze Minato was a little surprised, but more happy. But Hitaki Tsukumo and Narulukisa on the side can't help it. Master Ryuyun, don't be arrogant. This defeat of Cloud Shinobi Village clearly belongs to Qingshan Ryuyun. Now suddenly they are going to be snatched by Namikaze Minato, how could they be happy? Relax. Regarding this, Qingshan Ryuyun just smiled and waved his hand. Didn't you Sarutobi Hiruzen want to build momentum for Namikaze Minato? Then Lousy agreed. It just so happens that Qingshan Ryuyun also wants to see your mentality, can you accept such a result? Which battlefield to go to is the same to me. With that, Qingshan Ryuyun has come down from the main position. Going to the side of Hitaki Tsukumo and Nara Shikahisa, they patted their shoulders. Live well, this is what Qingshan Ryuyun said last. Then he strode out directly. As for Namikaze Minato, Qingshan Ryuyun didn't even look at it. Namikaze Minato himself also knows that his behavior. There is bound to be some grudges with Qingshan Ryuyun. Such a result, Namikaze Minato is still acceptable. Soon, Namikaze Minato, who was in a good mood, looked at Hitaki Tsukumo and Nara Shikahisa with a smile on his face. Master White Fang, Mr. Shikaju, let us defeat Cloud Shinobi Village together. These people can be regarded as Qingshan Ryuyun brought out. Facing such Namikaze Minato, it's already a lot of face to be able to beat people without directly hitting them. All for Konoha. After an indifferent response, Hitaki Sakuma and Narulukisa left the meeting room together. This, Namikaze Minato is a little embarrassed. Flowers 0. But fortunately, Namikaze Minato had already anticipated this situation. So the mentality quickly changed. Sorry, I still want to be Hokage. For my Hokage dream, the heart of Namikaze Minato. I have to say sorry. Qingshan Ryuyun did not waste much time, and he has already come to the battlefield of Iwagakure. Ninjas headed by Jiraiya and Hyuga Hiyashi. I have been waiting for a long time. Haha, Ryuyun, you are finally here, but I have always heard that you are just hanging up and beating the gangsters of Cloud Shinobi Village. Jiraiya laughed and walked towards Qingshan Ryuyun. After all, when I was in the village before, the relationship between Qingshan Ryuyun and Jiraiya is pretty good. Thank you for this matter, if you have anything in the future, you can come to me anytime. When he walked in front of him, Jiraiya said apologetically. About his apprentice, Jiraiya already knows. Is it so arrogant? But Jiraiya is not a villain. Jiraiya is very grateful that Qingshan Ryuyun was able to let out the battlefield of Cloud Shinobi Village. Ha ha ha, there is nothing to be grateful for. Although I have tried all the high-end combat power of Cloud Shinobi Village, they are still alive. Can they beat Cloud Shinobi Village? That is Namikaze Minato's own ability. Shrugged, Qingshan Ryuyun didn't say much. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. As if Namikaze Minato can steadily defeat Cloud Shinobi Village. Then wait and see. After all, this feat belongs to Qingshan Ryuyun. Can these people bear this result? 8. Jiraiya smiled cheerfully. Why in the eyes of this group of people? Don't worry, Minato, he has learned Flying Thunder God technique, and there will be no problem with Cloud Shinobi Village. While grateful, I also felt guilty for Qingshan Ryuyun. Qingshan Ryuyun has some doubts. It just so happens that Qingshan Ryuyun also wants to see, when the ending really comes. Chapter 102 Tsunade is angry. Advertise here. What does the third generation old man want to do? On Tsunade's side, I also know that Qingshan Ryuyun was transferred to the battlefield of Iwagakure. An angry Tsunade angrily smashed the desk in front of me. The man who bullied the old lady. This is simply hitting the old lady in the face. If it weren't for the circumstances, Tsunade was ready to go straight and confronted Sarutobi Hiruzen. Let this old idiot have a good experience of his own strange power fist. Hey, this is Konoha. Compared to Tsunade's irritability, Orochimaru, after reading this news. He smiled indifferently, not to mention Orochimaru at this time, is already pursuing immortality. Moreover, Orochimaru has already seen that the high-level personnel of Konoha, including his own Sarutobi Hiruzen, they have already begun to decay. Konoha-like, 922, is not Konoha at all. Don't be so impulsive, Tsunade. Orochimaru is really worried, will Tsunade do something irrational? I can only persuade. Even if you don't believe in teacher Sarutobi, you still have to believe in Qingshan Ryuyun. What kind of person your man is, you still don't know. When did Ryuyun suffer? It's true. After being silent for a while, Tsunade nodded. Indeed, based on Tsunade's understanding of his own man. This guy has never been a master who is willing to suffer. But because of this, Tsunade was puzzled. In that case, why does Ryuyun give up the position of the commander-in-chief of Cloud Shinobi Village? If Qingshan Ryuyun is not willing, even if there is Hokage's order, it is useless. Ah, the wise Orochimaru smiled disdainfully. Why do everyone think that Namikaze Minato can beat Cloud Shinobi Village? Uncle Snake is Uncle Snake. From the perspective of the problem, it is always such a drill. Can notice things that no one else can notice. Is not it? Tsunade was a little surprised. After all, Qingshan Ryuyun hangs Cloud Shinobi Village for 2 full years, which also makes Tsunade feel. Cloud Shinobi Village is just that. Orochimaru was not surprised by this, but said lightly. Cloud Shinobi Village has 2 perfect Jinchuriki, and 4th Raikage, which inherits the strongest shield. There are countless elite Jonin. Even with the Flying Thunder God technique, Namikaze Minato can only protect itself at best. Want to defeat Cloud Shinobi Village? A joke. At the end, Orochimaru sneered directly. These people just think too much. Cloud Shinobi Village can be beaten like this because of their opponents. It is the strongest creature by sea, land and air, Qingshan Ryuyun. What is this Namikaze Minato? Ms. Sarutobi, you made a mistake this time. Orochimaru can almost think of it. It won't be long before Sarutobi Hiruzen has regretted his intestines. As that's so, Tsunade doesn't have so much careful thinking. I just know that my man, this is not being scammed, but after being scammed by others. Tsunade is at ease. Let me just say it. How could the old lady's man be cheated by others? He hummed triumphantly. Anyway, after knowing that Qingshan Ryuyun has nothing to do, Tsunade feels relieved. Orochimaru on the side shrugged helplessly for Tsunade's performance. So, do you know what Qingshan Ryuyun, who can hang Cloud Shinobi Village by himself for 2 full years, really means? This explains. Qingshan Ryuyun definitely has the power of one person to fight the entire ninja village. Never mind. Orochimaru didn't explain much in the end, just smiled slightly. No more words. Master Ryuyun, Iwagakure battlefield here. Since Namikaze Minato went to the battlefield of Cloud Shinobi Village. So now, the 3 little ones, Hitaki Kakashi, Uchiha Obito and Hara Lin, all have Qingshan Ryuyun to lead them. In the past, Namikaze Minato, although famous. But it has always been that gentle. So when the 3 little ones talk, they are very casual. But now, looking at these 2, Qingshan Ryuyun, who is covered with dragon scale tattoos. It looks faintly, it is very dangerous. Even Uchiha Obito, who is more cheerful, can't say anything at this time. As for Yuan Yi Lin, she hides on the side timidly and dare not speak. Also Hitaki Kakashi, because of the willingness to meet Qingshan Ryuyun before. So it's more familiar. Master Ryuyun. Boom. Qingshan Ryuyun decisively raised his hand and knocked it on Kakashi's small head. What is your name, uncle? Really, it's just a little kid. What do you learn to rest and pretend? Good job. Without waiting for Kakashi to say something, Uchiha Obito on the side exclaimed directly. Uchiha Obito wants to play Kakashi, it's not a day or 2. It's just that my own strength is not enough. But now, seeing Kakashi being beaten by others, Obito is already very happy. Qingshan Ryuyun glanced over. Obito immediately lowered his head. I'm wrong. This look is so scary. Idiot. Seeing such a guide, Kakashi said unceremoniously. Ignoring Obito's little angry eyes, turned his head and looked at Qingshan Ryuyun. Uncle Ryuyun. No way. Let's not talk about the relationship between Qingshan Ryuyun and Hitaki Shumao, but it is good. According to Kakashi's understanding, if you don't shout like this, you will probably be beaten again. Qingshan Ryuyun nodded in satisfaction. It seems that he has a lot of talent to be a leader of the team. Are we sure to stay 0.8 here and not head to the battlefield? Hitaki Kakashi was a little helpless. On the Iwagakure battlefield, there is basically a small battle in 3 days and a big battle in 5 days. Especially the ninjas of Iwagakure. After hearing their opponent, the Golden Glitter Namikaze Minato was transferred away. As if thinking they can win a bit. Every now and then a war will start. But there are Jiraiya and Hyuga, so you don't need to worry too much. In the past such battles, Hitaki Kakashi and others are naturally going to go. But now, after following Qingshan Ryuyun, they stay in the camp every day with nothing to do. Although it is much safer, it still feels a little uncomfortable more or less. Chapter 103 My Cloud Shinobi Village. Stand up. Advertise here. You guys, do you want to go to death so much? This time, it was Qingshan Ryuyun's turn that was a little speechless. In such a dangerous place on the battlefield, it's too late for others to hide. You still want to go, and you are not looking for death like that. Greater than. The 3 little ones are a little speechless. Although they want to survive the battlefield with their strength, there are indeed some reluctances. But this unabashed contempt is a bit speechless. Although this is the case, don't say it so directly. Okay, Qingshan Ryuyun doesn't care what these people think in their hearts. With a big hand directly. Anyway, you should follow me first. When will you go to the battlefield? Wait for my order. That's it. After speaking, Qingshan Ryuyun turned around and was about to leave. Hitaki Kakashi and others, after looking at each other. All a little helpless, but it's not easy to say anything, and I can only leave with it. After waiting for the 3 little ones to leave, Qingshan Ryuyun stopped, turned his head slightly, and glanced at the rock not far away. A slight smile appeared at the 19th corner of his mouth, and then he left directly. Sure enough, these guys must be eyeing Uchiha Obito. With the power of observation haki, Qingshan Ryuyun felt the peeping gaze early on. It's just nothing. After Qingshan Ryuyun left, the figure of Black White Zetsu slowly emerged from the rock. Sure enough, I was discovered again. I was perceived by the other party last time. This time again. Speaking of which, with this guy here, it seems difficult for us to do something with that Uchiha Obito. White Zetsu suddenly said in a casual tone. White Zetsu did not notice. Black Zetsu on the side, after hearing this sentence, his face was a bit ugly. No, what? The sudden sound of White Zetsu surprised White Zetsu. Never give up. But Black Zetsu now has no time to pay attention to White Zetsu's reaction. He said with a gloomy look. There must be no accidents in the plan, Uchiha Obito, we must take it away. I have planned a 1,000-year plan, and there must be no accidents. White Zetsu's face is full of unknown feelings. I don't even understand why Black Zetsu had such a big reaction. Go back and find a way. Humph. With a cold snort, Black Zetsu, who is no longer talking, and White Zetsu escaped into the rock again. In the past few days after being transferred to the battlefield of Iwagakure, Qingshan Ryuyun did not intervene in the war. Jiraiya may think that Qingshan Ryuyun is not in a good mood, so it's nothing. Anyway, with the power of Jiraiya alone, plus the Hyuga clan, it's enough to deal with the ninjas of Iwagakure. However, the battlefield at Cloud Shinobi Village is completely different. Hung. In the meeting room of Cloud Shinobi Village, 4th Raikage Yui smashed the desk in front of him with a punch. He looked in the direction of Samui and Mabuyi with joy. As the news true, that monster, is it really gone? It's not just Yui. The killer bee on the side, made up of wooden golem and the elite Jonin. They all stared in the direction of Mabuyi and Samui. As if waiting for an accurate answer. Mabuyi and Samui know very well why everyone is like this. Without hesitation, he nodded directly. Yes, Master Raikage, the news has been confirmed. The monster has been transferred to the battlefield of Iwagakure, and Namikaze Minato has been transferred here. Ha 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 ha. The entire conference room, after a while of silence. Yi's laughter suddenly sounded. It's like a beginning. Soon, Killer Bee and others on the side all laughed. Great, great, that monster, finally gone. God knows how helpless Yi who can shout such a sigh is in her heart. 2 years. For 2 full years, the Cloud Shinobi village led by Yi was hanged by Qingshan Ryuyun for 2 years. If it is not good enough, Cloud Shinobi village has long chosen to surrender. As if to wipe away all the gloom in my heart before. Master Raikage. Soon, someone reacted. Seriously look at Yi. Go to war. Yes, let's go to war. While that monster is not there. It was not sent by them. It was actually 2 years ago. They were almost overshadowed by Qingshan Ryuyun. As long as the enemy is Qingshan Ryuyun, in their hearts, there is no plan to win. Now, Qingshan Ryuyun is finally gone. The entire Cloud Shinobi village needs a victory. Come to clear the haze before. Good. Yi didn't hesitate, hit the table and said directly. Mabuyi, Samui, go and gather all the ninjas. Laozi must teach this junior named Namikaze Minato 920, and tell him what is war. Laozi finally got up. Yi Yi almost didn't cry directly. So sad. No problem. Neither Mabuyi nor Samui meant to refuse. But Yi Ui is still a qualified Raikage in the eyes of all Cloud Shinobi Village ninjas. Yi Yi stood up and glanced at the ninjas in the conference room. Naruto and Hitaki Tsukumo and others on the side seemed to be lacking in interest. Standing outside is the Cloud Shinobi Village ninja that has assembled. Obviously not what I really want to hear. Let's work together to welcome the victory of Cloud Shinobi Village. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Everyone, even they feel that without Qingshan Ryuyun's Konoha, it is nothing to worry about. At this time, Namikaze Minato is still discussing the next war with Naruto and others. Good. Then, directly following in the footsteps of Yi Yi, she walked out of the meeting room. With an order, everyone looked at Yi Yi together. But most of them are Namikaze Minato. After Mabuyi and Samui leave. Replied in unison. Depending on the number, there are also thousands of people. I have to say that even after being hanged for 2 years, chapter 104 Yi Yi is so happy that she wants to cry. Advertise here. Oh, Lord White Fang, Lord Luju. At this moment, a Konoha shinobi. Some panic ran in. I just thought about Hitaki Tsukumo and Naruto and others. As for Namikaze Minato on the theme, it was ignored. This is not a special case. After Namikaze Minato came here, he was often ignored. Said it was the commander-in-chief, but no one recognized it. Cloud Shinobi Village. Cloud Shinobi Village they are attacking. Really? Such news caused Hitaki Tsukumo and Naruto to look at each other. With a clear look on his face. In fact, after Qingshan Ryuyun was transferred away. They had already expected that Cloud Shinobi Village, who knew this news, would definitely fight against them. So now there is nothing to panic. Do not worry. Namikaze Minato in the main position began to flash some joy on his face. Said loudly to the panicked ninjas. I will definitely lead everyone to defeat Cloud Shinobi Village. Honestly, everyone believes. Accustomed to the absolute power of Qingshan Ryuyun, let them accept Namikaze Minato, who looks thin and weak. It's a bit difficult to beat Cloud Shinobi Village. Namikaze Minato didn't think much of these skeptical gazes. On the contrary, I am a little happy. In Namikaze Minato's view, this Cloud Shinobi Village attack at this time is the best. In this way, I have the opportunity to gain prestige by defeating Cloud Shinobi Village. As long as I defeated Cloud Shinobi Village. Believe that these ninjas who are not convinced by themselves will also recognize themselves, right? After speaking, Namikaze Minato waved his hand and walked out directly. The trio of Hitaki Shumo and Inoshika Cho who looked at the side shook their heads helplessly. This guy doesn't really think that he is great. Forget it. For Konoha. What can I say? Hitaki Tsukumo and Naruto who looked at each other. I could only shook my head and walked out. No matter what, this war has begun, they still have to go. Ha 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 ha. A distance of no more than a kilometer. After seeing Konoha leading the way, is it really Qingshan Ryuyun, or a young blonde ninja? Yi Yi suddenly laughed. Not only Yi Ui, but also the other ninjas on the side. Even all the Cloud Shinobi Village ninjas all laughed. Everyone. Putting away the laughter, Yi Yi waved his hand, and the voice echoed over the entire battlefield. You see, that monster is gone, come with me and defeat Konoha. Shouting so that everyone is gone. God knows how long Yi Yi has been waiting for a victory. Go. Beat them. Kill. The ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village, can't wait a long time. Yi Ui gave an order and did not say hello to the Konoha shinobi. Angrily rushed over. This is the first time Namikaze Minato has faced this straightforward war. The wars I have experienced in the past, before they start, have to talk nonsense for a while. It's like this, it's straight to the war. However, Namikaze Minato's mentality quickly recovered. Lift yourself up, face the direction of Cloud Shinobi Village, and rush over. Everyone, follow me to fight. Hitaki Shumo and Inoshika Cho trio, although they don't believe in Namikaze Minato. But there is no way, whether it is for Konoha or what. They must participate in such a war. Ninfa Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. Hundreds of flying thunder god kunai quickly flew in the direction of 4th Raikage Yi Ui. Stopped. Not waiting for Yi Ui to react. With a flash of golden light, Namikaze Minato's figure instantly appeared beside Yi Ui. Rasengan. This is Muji ninjutsu created by Namikaze Minato himself. But, after Rasengan hit Yi Ui, there was only a dull voice. It is completely offset by Yi Ui's lightning style chakra mode. So it will. My unfavorable combination of Flying Thunder God and Rasengan has no effect at all. This surprised Namikaze Minato. Thunder Eye blasted bombs. Yaoi Ik doesn't care about these. The flashing thunder light all over the body became more and more dazzling. Slammed in the direction of Namikaze Minato. Boom. The entire ground was smashed out of a big hole about tens of meters. However, Namikaze Minato's figure has already used Flying Thunder God technique to leave in advance. What a fast speed. Standing in the center of Dekang, Yi Ui, surrounded by thunder. Squinting his eyes slightly, he looked at Namikaze Minato not far away. Using lightning-style chakra mode, Yi Ui's speed will also get a bonus. But I didn't expect it to be better than the young man in front of me. But if that's the case, it's not enough. If you haven't been hanged by Qingshan Ryuyun for 2 full years. Facing Namikaze Minato's Flying Thunder God technique, Yi Ui must feel very tricky. But it's different now. Without comparison, there is no surprise. When fighting against Qingshan Ryuyun, Yi Ui has always been hanged and beaten. All kinds of slings, the kind that you don't even have the power to fight back. But now, although Namikaze Minato is fast, but in terms of attacking ninjutsu, Yi Ui, who turned on lightning-style chakra mode, thought that he could ignore everything. Promise it's like facing Qingshan Ryuyun. One trick, Thunder 8 trigrams. I'm gone. Ha 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 ha, my Cloud Shinobi village will definitely not fail. This battle must be won. Otherwise, I will be too aggrieved. Good. The fighting Cloud Shinobi village ninjas responded in unison to their leader. It's really troublesome. Hitaki Tsukumo sighed helplessly. Yo, Konoha's White Fang, please be serious when you fight against me. Take out a few ninja swords, Killer B, who confronted Hitaki Tsukumo, said with a relaxed face. Even his signature rap gestures were put out. Call. Hitaki wanted to show some sword light with one hand, Hitaki said disdainfully. Why didn't you see you being so arrogant when you were playing against Qingshan Ryuyun before? Just pretend. Chapter 105 Namikaze Minato is stupid. Advertise here. Fire-style squirt tail ball jade. The Inoshika Cho trio is preparing to be the same as before. The 3 teamed up to hold the elite Jonin in Cloud Shinobi village. But at this time, there were several blue fireballs in a row, slamming at them quickly. Scatter. Naruto, who noticed this scene, instantly reacted. Instructing Yamanaka Keiichi and Akamaiki Choza to avoid. At this time, Yu Wooden Golem, who turned into cat-like paws with one hand, walked over with a sneer. I heard that your Inoshika Cho teamed up, and even the top cage-level players have the power to fight. Then, let me be your opponent. Quote closing parenthesis. Inoshika Cho are all a little helpless. In the past, these 2 perfect Jinchuriki from Cloud Shinobi village. It was all beaten by Qingshan Ryuyun. But now, the situation is completely different. So, Lord 3rd Generation is really brain dead. Even Naruto, who has a good temper, couldn't help but say. Do you understand the battlefield of Cloud Shinobi village? So Qingshan Ryuyun was transferred away. Talking about it, but this battle is still to be fought. The Ino, Shika, Cho trio, and the Flag 920 Kisakumo. All were dragged by the 2 Jinchuriki from Cloud Shinobi village. The elite Jonin, without obstacles, are rampant among the Konoha Shinobi like no man's land. Ha ha ha, without that monster, what are you guys? I really thought you could beat us Cloud Shinobi village. We just lost to Qingshan Ryuyun, it's not your gangsters. When he started, he roared loudly. No way, my heart is too depressed. If you don't shout anything, the whole person will be bad. Why, how could this happen? Although Namikaze Minato is fighting Yi Ui, he is always paying attention to battlefields in other places. In Namikaze Minato's view, there should be no surprises in this battle. After all, Cloud Shinobi village is very weak. But the facts are that the high-end combat power was dragged down, and the one who was hung and beaten became Konoha. Where are you looking? In a daze, a figure gleaming with thunderlight appeared next to Namikaze Minato in an instant. A punch smashed in the past. BJAI, fortunately, Namikaze Minato responded quickly. Using Flying Thunder God technique, I easily escaped Yi Ui's punch. Shout. That means the speed is faster. One punch failed, Yi Ui was not disappointed. In Yi Ui's eyes, in front of this guy with blonde hair, apart from being fast, there is nothing good about it. Spiral bombs. No way, Namikaze Minato can only think, quickly defeat Yi Ui in front of him. To support other battlefields. However, Namikaze Minato simply thinks too much. With Muji Ninjutsu, Namikaze Minato is almost showing up. But still did not cause any injuries to Yi Ui. Lightning-style chakra mode can be the strongest shield. This is not just talking. Although Yi Ui did not inherit the strongest spear, Hell Thrust. But its strongest shield, it's still very good to play. How can it be? Constantly use Flying Thunder God technique and Rasengan. Namikaze Minato even chakra is almost not enough, but it still did not cause any injuries to Qingshan Ryuyun. Namikaze Minato is a bit dreamy. No, is this 4th Raikage so powerful? Then why were they hanged and beaten in the previous 2 years? At this time, Namikaze Minato has almost thought of it, Cloud Shinobi village has no problem, and there is no problem with his own strength. The problematic is the one who was in charge of this battlefield before, Qingshan Ryuyun. It is not Konoha who can hang Cloud Shinobi village, but Qingshan Ryuyun. However, even if it reacts. But it's too late. Lousy wants to see, when can you flash? Boom. Always avoiding, there will always be mistakes. Especially the current amount of chakra in Namikaze Minato is not enough to support Namikaze Minato, long-term use of Flying Thunder God technique. Nani. Under Namikaze Minato's stunned gaze, Yui, who found a chance, punched directly on Namikaze Minato's body. Boom. This heavy punch caused Namikaze Minato to fly out quickly like a bullet. The figure directly smashed a rock not far away. Ahem. Among the gravel, Namikaze Minato reluctantly walked out. Although it's okay, but looking at it, I don't have the ability to fight anymore. Why? Namikaze Minato, who stood up with one hand on the ground, barely looked at Yui. Why did it become like this? Ah, Yui smiled contemptuously. Although I don't know what Konoha thinks, you actually transferred that monster away. Even if Qingshan Ryuyun is no longer here. But when speaking of Qingshan Ryuyun, Yui's heart still shone with fear. It is really a psychological shadow. You Konoha don't think that if you just change someone, you can defeat us Konoha. Yui said loudly. The depression in my heart was all dissipated because of this victory. Seeing that the war was almost fought, Yui waved his hand directly and stopped the ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village. All right. Looking at the upside-down war not far away, Namikaze Minato lowered his head slightly. Namikaze Minato did not speak. Although they can continue to fight. Quote, comma. But it is not necessary. Before the war, how spirited Namikaze Minato was. But this look is obviously the same as Yui said. Before, they really thought that Cloud Shinobi Village was nothing more than that. If they continue to fight, at least let the depression in my heart disappear, let's talk about it. Then it must be Qingshan Ryuyun again to face them. So now, Namikaze Minato is so desperate. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Yui and the others are very clear that Qingshan Ryuyun was just transferred away, not dead. But the reality is quite the opposite. Don't dare to face such a war situation. Instead of this, it's better to continue fighting with people like Namikaze Minato. Chapter 106. What a big black pot. Advertise here. Good. Everyone in Cloud Shinobi Village responded in unison. They still won't refute their Raikage's order. It's different from the numbness and loss after every time I left before. This time, all Cloud Shinobi Village ninjas. When I left, they all looked happy. Obviously, this victory let everyone in Cloud Shinobi Village come back to life. This time a little battle, the battle, even if it is over. The slightly tired Hitaki Shumo and Ino, Shika, Cho directly sat down. Seeing the miserable situation around me, I can't bear to look at it. Clean up the battlefield, count the number of people. No matter what should be faced, still need to be faced. At this moment, as if there was a spirit in their hearts, Hitaki Sakumo and Nara Shikahisa looked at Namikaze Minato not far away together. Command a medical ninja to treat Namikaze Minato. Senior White Fang, Mr. Lu Ju. When Hitaki and Nara came over, Namikaze Minato came back to his senses. The sunny smile as always, can't hold it at this time. As if to cry at any time. Why does it become like this? This result is something that Namikaze Minato didn't expect at all and couldn't accept it at all. You know, the pot that was defeated this time is definitely to be carried by Namikaze Minato. Although the transfer order was issued by Sarutobi Hiruzen. But according to Sarutobi Hiruzen's calculations, how could it be possible to find someone else? And Namikaze Minato can't escape. Alas. Originally, Nara Shikahisa and Hitaki Sakumo, and they wanted to say something. But seeing Namikaze Minato like this, the two were just speechless one after another. After all, Namikaze Minato is just an unknown situation. To put it nicely, it means that you are young and vigorous and think that you are very powerful. In fact, even if you learn Flying Thunder God, Namikaze Minato at this time can only be regarded as average. In the face of the high defense Yui, Namikaze Minato, who did not effectively attack ninjutsu, could not do anything at all. At this moment, the ninja who was in charge of counting the number of people had already walked over. Master White Fang, Master Luju. Perhaps it was frightened, the ninja still lowered his head, as if he did not dare to raise his head to speak. Just say the result. Waved his hand. They all guessed that this number is definitely heavy. But Hitaki Shumo and others are already prepared. Yes. Don't hesitate, this ninja can only tell all the information he has just collected. In this war, a total of 473 of us were wounded, and more than 1,200 were killed in the battle. Even if you are ready. But after hearing this report, everyone was silent. Hitaki Shumo closed his eyes in pain. More than 1,000 or 200 people died. You know, there are not 2,000 Konoha shinobi who were in charge of the war here. It is directly gone for most of it. In addition to regret, it is more despair of the next war. The remaining ninjas are simply not enough to face the next battle. Senior White Fang, Mr. Lu Ju. At this time, Namikaze Minato, who was simply treated by the medical ninja, slowly stood up. Let everyone go back to the camp first, I will bear all the results this time. This pot is not meant to be carried. Even if you are golden glitter Namikaze Minato. Hitaki Shumo and Ino Shika Cho looked at each other speechlessly. Gathering the ninjas who have survived, they went back one after another. Soon, the news of the defeat in the Cloud Shinobi Village battlefield spread throughout the entire ninja. The previous Namikaze Minato, because of the existence of Qingshan Ryuyun. Even if it is famous, it is only famous near Iwagakure. But the current Namikaze Minato can be said to be famous in the ninja world. Of course, this is certainly not a good reputation. How is it possible? How is it possible? On Kurigakure's side, Sarutobi Hiruzen in the meeting room. Looking at the war report from Cloud Shinobi Village in my hand, my face is incredible. This Namikaze Minato, what the hell is he doing? The angry Sarutobi Hiruzen directly hit the table in front of him with a punch. Seeking flowers 0. It means something hoarse. What was originally full of confidence has actually become the way it is now. Without more than 1,000 ninjas, such a big defeat, from the beginning of the war to the present, has never appeared. This battle damage, even Sarutobi Hiruzen, can't hold it. Danzo on the side was calm on the surface, but in his heart, he smiled cheerfully. Danzo has long noticed that Sarutobi Hiruzen intends to train Namikaze Minato as a tool person. Originally planned to pit Namikaze Minato, but there has been no chance. It's better now. Don't need Danzo to do it anymore. This Namikaze Minato, he pitted himself. Hiruzen. Danzo said lightly, this battle damage requires one person to bear it. Greater than are foxes for thousands of years. Sarutobi Hiruzen understood Danzo's meaning in an instant. This news will spread throughout Konoha sooner or later. Without more than 1,000 ninjas, I can't hide it. If everyone knows, the cause of this incident is because of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mistakes. Putting this pot is enough to ruin Sarutobi Hiruzen. But, some hesitations, after all, Sarutobi Hiruzen is really satisfied with Namikaze Minato as a tool person. Danzo seemed to be very indifferent to this. Noting Sarutobi Hiruzen's hesitation. Danzo didn't think anything, just shrugged and said indifferently. In fact, it's nothing. Anyway, after the Ninja World War is over, you can't be a Hokage anymore. It doesn't matter if you come to pick up this pot. No. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen refused without hesitation. Although this is the case, Sarutobi Hiruzen also has the idea to become Hokage again. This matter must never be carried on oneself. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flashed with some determination. I'm sorry, Minato. It's not that the old man is ruthless, it's really that you are unsatisfied. If you defeat Cloud Shinobi Village, everyone will be happy. But now, I can only let Namikaze Minato take the pot. Chapter 107 Jiraiya's Choice. Advertise here. Under the deliberate operation of Sarutobi Hiruzen. On the battlefield of Cloud Shinobi Village, news about Namikaze Minato began to spread throughout Konoha. How is it possible? How could there be such a failure? Aren't they all advantages before? This Namikaze Minato, what the hell is going on? Shouldn't he be on the battlefield of Iwagakure? The villagers' onlookers are all panicked. After all, if Konoha is defeated, these Konoha residents will also be unlucky. Because to appease the emotions of the villagers, every battle will report the entire Konoha. It has always been an advantage before. Let the people facing the Konoha village where the ninja world has jointly declared war, just feel relieved. There was such a big failure. More of them are because their family members, 923, friends, are all on the battlefield of Cloud Shinobi Village. For a time, people feel uneasy. No one knows, among the ninjas who are still alive, whether there are any family members. Sinner. This Namikaze Minato is Konoha's sinner. The former Namikaze Minato can be regarded as a little famous. Was talked about by the villagers. But after such a big failure, the reputation of Namikaze Minato began to plummet in an instant. Right. If one person responds, there will be a second, third, or even more people. Yes, he is Konoha's sinner. This guy is a Konoha shinobi. Like I used to admire him so much. Damn it. The villagers are filled with indignation. Because of the big failure of the Cloud Shinobi Village battlefield, some ninjas on other battlefields are panicking. Fortunately, each battlefield has their top combat power. Although the heart is uneasy, but there is not much panic. Ha ha ha. At Sand Shinobi Village, Tsunade who just beat the group of Sand Shinobi Village back. As soon as I came back, I got news from Namikaze Minato. I couldn't hold back, I just laughed. Just this younger generation wants to grab the merits of the old lady and man, it's just a dream. Disdain. It's pure disdain. Before, because of Jiraiya, Tsunade's impression of Namikaze Minato was pretty good. But now, Tsunade doesn't catch a cold at all to this Namikaze Minato. Ah, Orochimaru smiled disdainfully after seeing this report. When I had expected it a long time ago, there were no surprises. My teacher Sarutobi, I look down on Cloud Shinobi Village too. If Cloud Shinobi Village is really weak, it will not be called the second largest shinobi village in the ninja world. Shout. That old man deserves to be a teacher too, that's how he should be. Because of this, even Tsunade is a bit dissatisfied with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru on the side just smiled and said nothing. But Orochimaru guessed that Jiraiya might be moving. After all, this Namikaze Minato is Jiraiya's most precious apprentice. Sure enough, just as Orochimaru expected. After getting this news, Jiraiya directly transferred 1,000 ninjas from the battlefield of Iwagakure. Basically half a ninja. Master Jiraiya, what about our Iwagakure battlefield? Everyone headed by Hyuga Hiashi looked at Jiraiya helplessly. They also know that Jiraiya is an apprentice who cares about him. But it is impossible, give up the battlefield on Iwagakure's side. Sorry Hiashi, I can't manage that much now. Jiraiya knows that he has acted like this. For Konoha, it is very irresponsible. But thinking of his apprentice who was about to become a sinner, Jiraiya still took it seriously. But, Hyuga Hiashi is helpless. The rest of the Jonin on the side are all in the same mood. Jiraiya, as the commander-in-chief here, even if they make some irrational choices, they are not good to say anything. Ryuyun. At this time, Jiraiya looked not far away, stood in the crowd, Qingshan Ryuyun with a calm face. The previous Jiraiya also despised Cloud Shinobi Village. But after experiencing the big failure of Namikaze Minato, everyone understands. It was never Konoha who defeated Cloud Shinobi Village, but Qingshan Ryuyun. I'm sorry, but I will leave the next Iwagakure to you. I will leave the Hyuga clan to assist you. It doesn't matter. Even if you take away the ninjas, it makes no difference to me. Shrugged. Qingshan Ryuyun said casually with a full face. It's not that I look down on these people. Okay, it's a bit contemptuous. But more, still have absolute confidence in their own strength. It's really you who can say such a thing. Seeing Qingshan Ryuyun like this, Jiraiya smiled helplessly. It's quite in line with what Jiraiya said and understood Qingshan Ryuyun. Qingshan Ryuyun did not pay too much attention to Jiraiya. Instead, I looked towards the young people who chose to stand beside Jiraiya. Have you decided, Kakashi, Obito, and Lin, are you really going to the Cloud Shinobi Village battlefield? Yes, these three little ones also chose to follow Jiraiya. Depart from Cloud Shinobi Village. The three little ones nodded together. Ms. Minato, he is our teacher after all. That's it. The original camp, because of Jiraiya, instantly seemed a lot empty. The battlefield of Iwagakure is up to you. Ryuyun. It just so happens that my father is in Cloud Shinobi Village, nothing will happen. After speaking, Jiraiya took the 1,000 ninjas and left. Then go. Ninja, always have to go through hardships. Originally in Qingshan Ryuyun's opinion, if they followed themselves. After all, the breath of black-white Zetsu, Qingshan Ryuyun has always felt it. Regarding the love of mentoring and apprenticeship, although they are small, they are very important to 0.8. Then bless them. The three little ones headed by Hitaki Kakashi are all serious. Yes. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Jiraiya finally said to Qingshan Ryuyun. No matter what, we have to go. Qingshan Ryuyun smiled and said nothing. But now, since these little guys have already made a choice, Qingshan Ryuyun doesn't say much anymore. Chapter 108 Onoki, so look down on people. Advertise here. Master Ryuyun. For a moment, there are only 700 or 800 Konoha shinobi who remain in the entire camp. They were already very reluctant to deal with Iwagakure. 1,000 ninjas have now been transferred. Even Jiraiya is gone. These ninjas, now some people are worried. 700 or 800 pairs of eyes, now all looking in the direction of Qingshan Ryuyun. After all, after Jiraiya left, Qingshan Ryuyun is the new commander-in-chief here. Look at it. Carrying a mace, Qingshan Ryuyun said nonchalantly. Master Ryuyun, what shall we do next? No way, Hyuga Hiashi can only ask for help. I want Qingshan Ryuyun to find a way. Otherwise, the remaining ninjas will be very hard to be at ease. But, what should I do? Did those people from Iwagakure call here? No. Then you guys panic. This is Qingshan Ryuyun's temper. Even Qingshan Ryuyun doesn't know why these people panic. What are they panic? But, 19. Although I didn't call it now, I will call it sooner or later. It's okay. Wait until the war starts. Lousy didn't panic. What are you guys panicking? With that, Qingshan Ryuyun carried his mace. Witnessed by countless pairs of eyes, he swaggered away. I have to say that Qingshan Ryuyun's answer was beyond everyone's expectations. Hyuga Hiashi originally thought that Qingshan Ryuyun no matter what will also comfort these restless ninjas. But now, seeing Qingshan Ryuyun leaving behind, Hyuga Hiashi's face was confused. Is such a leader really reassuring? Hiashi-sama, what are we going to do? No way, Qingshan Ryuyun left, these people can only put the inquiring gaze on Hyuga Hiashi. Greater than. Hiashi said he was very helpless. If I have a solution, do I still need to ask Qingshan Ryuyun? But in this case, Hyuga Hiashi is definitely not easy to say directly. Forget it. Everyone will continue to be responsible for the security of the camp. When the war starts, I think Master Ryuyun will have a way to deal with it. Actually, when I said this, Hyuga Hiashi didn't believe it very much. But there is no way, it is impossible to say some frustrating words directly. They can't escape, they can only stay here and fight Iwagakure. All right, under the successive words of Hyuga Hiashi. The emotions of these people are finally stabilized. Although still a little flustered, but not as flustered as before. After watching everyone leave, Hyuga Hiashi sighed helplessly. Who would have thought that such a thing could be discovered during the war? Elder brother, when only Hyuga Hiashi is left. A ninja who looked exactly like Hyuga Hiashi walked over with a caring face. Hazashi, Seeing the person, Hiyashi also smiled kindly. For his younger brother, Hiyashi still cares a lot. Brother, do we really want to believe that Qingshan Ryuyun? After all, I have only seen one side. I think that the next fate will be pinned on the person who seems to care about war. Hazashi is panicked. Although I am not afraid of death, I don't want to die either. Hazashi, this may be an opportunity. Suddenly being said that, Hazashi was surprised. I don't know why I looked at my brother. Hasn't you seen it yet? What do you see? Okay, Hazashi is not pretending, it's really at a loss. I don't know what this is talking about. Greater than. A little helpless, but Hiyashi explained it carefully. When Namikaze Minato went to the Cloud Shinobi Village battlefield, everyone thought that Namikaze Minato could defeat Cloud Shinobi Village, but what happened? Namikaze Minato failed. Not only failed, but also became a sinner in Konoha Village. This means that it is this Ryuyun-sama who has been hanging from Cloud Shinobi Village to fight. It's not Konoha, it's Qingshan Ryuyun. So, Hyuga Hazashi raised his brows slightly and looked at Hyuga Hiyashi. I always feel that I understand, but I don't fully understand. Hiyashi said he was very helpless. Never mind. If you continue to explain, it is no longer necessary. Hyuga Hiyashi directly waved his hand and said, in short, wait with peace of mind. When the war really comes, you will understand what I mean. All right. Hazashi nodded, choosing to believe in his brother. I have to say that Hyuga Hiyashi can become the head of the clan in the future. In addition to the identity of the eldest son. More because, Hiyashi is indeed much better than Hazashi. At the same time, in Iwagakure's temporary settlement 923. The big wild wood, which is no more than 1 meter tall, is suspended in the air. Raising his brows lightly, he looked at the ninja who was in charge of the transmission. The news is true. It is true that Konoha's Jiraiya has left. Not only that, but also took away about 1,000 Konoha shinobi. Even though Onoki Castle is extremely deep. Master Tsuchikage. Although the height is only about 1 meter, this old cage-level powerhouse has murderous momentum. But there is also a feeling of being despised. But it is enough to make all the ninjas present bow their heads slightly. They thought that only the remaining ninjas could resist my Iwagakure. I dare not stare at Oyemu, who is suspended in midair. Such things, of course, dare not lie. Huang Tu said directly. The messaging ninja nodded quickly. On Konoha's side, there are only 700 or 800 ninjas left. At this time, if we go to war, we can definitely defeat them. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. As the son of Onoki, he is also the deputy of 3rd Tsuchikage. Onoki smiled. Does Konoha look down on me? First he transferred Namikaze Minato, and now Jiraiya is gone, and he took away 1,000 ninjas. Do you look down on people so much? Chapter 109 Iwagakure called. Advertise here. During the 2 years of ninja, Iwagakure led by Onoki, and Konoha led by Jiraiya. Fought many wars. Win or lose, right. But now, Iwagakure is at a disadvantage. At this time, for Iwagakure, it is an opportunity. Onoki narrowed his eyes slightly, as if he was planning something. At this moment, the 2 people in different costumes, sitting in the corner, said without any haste. Don't forget, the person who is known as the strongest creature in the sea, land, and air has been transferred here. Don't underestimate this person. Regarding the news about Qingshan Ryuyun, they naturally also know. Old Z. Han. Hearing this, Huang Tu was a little concerned. Turn around and look directly. Even if there is that Qingshan Ryuyun, they only have 700 or 800 ninjas left, and there is only one top combat power. Could it be that our entire Iwagakure together can't beat one person? It is also because I have not seen the power of Qingshan Ryuyun positively. That's why I said something like this. This Lois is still too young. Greater than. The 2 middle-aged men, known as Lao Zi and Han, shrugged their shoulders together without saying anything. Even they, I don't think the whole Iwagakure can be beaten by one person. As Jinchuriki of 4 tails and 5 tails, Lao Zi and Han, the right to speak in Iwagakure is still very important. Even for 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki, these 2 Jinchuriki would not give face if they wanted to. Actually, whether it is Lao Zi or Han, they are not the kind of people who want to war. On the contrary, both of them are very salty, and what they most want to do is to travel around the world of shinobi. It's just that Jinchuriki's identity does not allow them to do so. Although not perfect Jinchuriki, but even without using the power of the tail beast. Lao Zi and Han are 2 stable cage-level combat powers. All right, Onoki said lightly. The sound is very soft, but it is enough to make everyone watch over quietly. Start summoning ninjas. Yes. Huang Tu's face was overjoyed, and immediately walked out. It goes without saying that it is going to fight Konoha. Lao Zi and Han, after looking at each other, shrugged together, without making any comments. Although I don't like war. But after all, this is about Iwagakure's purpose. For their war, I have to participate in it. Old Z. Han, I will give you a few days after the end of the Ninja World War, let you go for a walk. After alerting Lao Zi and Han, Oyemu said faintly. Onoki knew the thoughts of these 2 people a long time ago. Hope. Rejoice. It's okay too. It's all this young. Whether it's Lao Zi or Han. I won't be inspired to fight because of such a thing. It can be seen that Onogi is worried that they will go to work without any effort. Don't worry, although I don't like war, Iwagakure is my home after all. When I should be serious, I will still be serious. Onoki nodded with satisfaction. That's good. As long as Lao Zi and Han can get serious, the others won't matter. As for being refuted, ha ha, in the Fourth Ninja World War in the future, Onoki, who has clearly understood the will of the stone, is indeed a qualified Tsuchikage. But now Onogi, still a man who can abandon anything for the immediate benefit. Even said, spend money to hire ninjas in the underground world. Let them be the cannon fodder of Iwagakure. Onoki has done such things many times. As long as you can get better, the situation of other people around is indifferent. This is the current Onogi. The environment of Iwagakure is not as good as Cloud Shinobi Village. Sitting leisurely on a mountain, looking at the surrounding rock cliffs, Qingshan Ryuyun said something disgustingly. The environment of Cloud Shinobi Village, although it is similar. But some green plants can still be seen sporadically. Nothing like Iwagakure. It's endless, everything is rock and the like. Just when Qingshan Ryuyun looked at the surrounding environment leisurely, the figure of Hyuga Hiyashi suddenly rushed to Qingshan Ryuyun's side. Master Ryuyun, Iwagakure is at war with us. Huh, it's a bit slower than I thought. Qingshan Ryuyun said a little surprised. Originally Qingshan Ryuyun thought that after Iwagakure got the news that Jiraiya was leaving, we'll declare war directly. I didn't expect it to be dragged to the present. Quote. That's it. It doesn't matter. Just declare war anyway, it's almost the same when you fight. Having said this, Qingshan Ryuyun stood up and moved his tibia slightly. Picked up the other side of the foot and resisted it on the shoulder. Then go and fight those idiots back. With that said, Qingshan Ryuyun took the lead and left. I ignored Hyuga Hiyashi on the side. To be honest, in the face of such a casual Qingshan Ryuyun, even if Hyuga Hiyashi knows that Qingshan Ryuyun is very strong. But before I witnessed it with my own eyes, the heart of Hyuga Hiyashi. I'm still a little worried. No solution anymore. Even if you are not at ease now, it is hard to say anything. Hyuga Hiyashi can only mention the rustic for himself. And this laughter didn't mean to converge, but it grew louder and louder. On the endless rocky battlefield, Konoha also realized this. Some panicked voices came from the crowd. Ha 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 ha, I can finally win a good one. More than 3,000 Iwagakure ninjas, and 700 or 800 Konoha shinobi, are facing away. Ha 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 ha, with the number of these 700 or 800 ninjas, it is impossible to be their Iwagakure opponent. 10 minutes later, some of Iwagakure's ninjas couldn't help but laugh directly. I have to say, looking at the number of ninjas like Konoha. Maybe, in the eyes of these people, greater than system. Then immediately began to call, good promise, the ninjas left in the camp. It's a win. Just this little guy, he actually wants to fight us. Chapter 110. Is this your son? Isn't it fake? Advertise here. Master Ryuyun, as the deputy Hyuga Hiyashi, standing beside Qingshan Ryuyun. Looking at the situation of the ninja on my side. Hyuga Hiyashi looked at Qingshan Ryuyun aside with some worry. Why don't you say something, Lord Ryuyun, our morale is a bit low. Hyuga Hiyashi doesn't know nothing. Naturally know that morale is such a vain thing. It can definitely affect the direction of a war. No need. This may be a good way. But Qingshan Ryuyun directly waved his hand boredly. Qingshan Ryuyun doesn't think he can do things like boosting morale. This. A little helpless. But since it was Qingshan Ryuyun's decision, Hyuga Hiyashi can't say anything. There is no way. Hyuga Hiyashi can only wipe his fists, thinking about playing better next. I hope to improve Konoha's momentum. At this time, leading third Tsuchikage Onogi suspended in midair. A pair of eyes must be locked to Qingshan Ryuyun, the most conspicuous in the crowd, 923. You are Qingshan Ryuyun, the strongest creature who has slapped Cloud Shinobi Village for 2 years. The third Raikage of Cloud Shinobi Village was killed by Onoki Pit. Although Cloud Shinobi Village has a high combat power. But Onogi has always been uncomfortable with these thoughtless Cloud Shinobi villages. What? Carrying a mace? Qingshan Ryuyun grinned from the corner of his mouth. Looking very surprised, he glanced at Onoki. Who are you? You are so short, you won't be a disabled person. You. Oyemu's eyes widened in surprise, if this is the case. After Onoki became famous, I have never heard of it. The problem of height has always been the injury of Onoki. You guy, you still say that. Father, I will definitely kill you later. The Lois on the side even pointed to the direction of Qingshan Ryuyun and shouted. Although the height is like this. But the majesty of Onoki in Iwagakure is not low at all. What? However, Qingshan Ryuyun is even more surprised by this. Looking at the Lois, and then at the Onogi suspended in midair. Those weird eyes. It makes Oyeki and Lois a bit uncomfortable. You are the son of this guy. Fake it. You are 1 meter tall. Can you give birth to a 2-meter son? Do you have that gene? This Lois looks different from the thin ninja. Similar to Qingshan Ryuyun, both belong to the burly type. In terms of height, it is close to 2 meters. I have to say that when Lois and Onoki stand together. If no one reminds you, Others really can't tell, this is a father and son. Having said that, Qingshan Ryuyun sighed slightly. With a little pity in his eyes, he looked at Onoki. You are a poor man too. Quote, comma. Sigh a ghost. On Onoki's forehead, several blue veins have been stretched out. The key is that even the lowest on the side is somewhat self-doubt. The ninjas on the Konoha side and the ninjas on the Cloud Shinobi village side all looked a bit smiley. Even they are a little bit suspicious of whether the relationship between Wangtu and Oyemu is a father and son. This is so long, I don't want to. Just as Qingshan Ryuyun said. It seems that Lois does not have the gene that can grow to 2 meters at all. My father. Wangtu looked at Onoki with self-doubt. As if wanting to seek an answer. Roll. Onoki himself scolded, BJAI. Is Wangtu his own son? Of course Onoki knows this very well. Don't be ashamed. Yes. Lowering his brows, Wangtu could only respond like this. But looking at it this way, it is obviously a bit self-doubt. Humph. Dayemu snorted coldly and looked in the direction of Qingshan Ryuyun. Sure enough, although your Konoha people are not very strong, but their ability to talk nonsense is better than one. The previous Jiraiya was like this. Now Qingshan Ryuyun is like this again. In terms of scolding people, Konoha has never been afraid of anyone. It may be worried, if the grinding continues. Will Qingshan Ryuyun say something shocking? So Onoki waved his hand directly, commanding the 3,000 Iwagakure ninjas, and rushed in the direction of Konoha. Ha 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 ha. Seeing this scene, Qingshan Ryuyun headed by, couldn't help but laugh. This guy is angry. Unlike Qingshan Ryuyun, Hyuga Hiyashi on the side. As well as the remaining Konoha shinobi, they all looked terrified at this time. After all, the number of ninjas in Iwagakure has surpassed them several times. It seems that there is a feeling that it is absolutely invincible. Even among these people, some have already made plans to die. All this has been felt by Qingshan Ryuyun. But knowing that now, Qingshan Ryuyun has not said any morale-boosting remarks. Because there is no need. Although language can improve morale in a short time. But it was only a short time. Only absolute strength can make these people feel at ease. With a faint smile, facing the direction of Iwagakure ninja, Qingshan Ryuyun figured for a moment. Ran head on. On the other side of the hand, a dazzling thunder light began to flash. Thunder 8 trigrams. Boom. The Iwagakure ninja who rushed to the front was blown away in an instant. Not only that, a strong hurricane swept over in an instant. The front Iwagakure ninjas were all blown out by the hurricane. Dragon breath. Qingshan Ryuyun's attack didn't mean to stop here. The dragon scale pattern on the body began to glow with crimson red light. The dragon's breath flame with a destructive aura slammed in the direction of Iwagakure. Defensively. These Iwagakure ninjas are not fools, and soon they made defensive actions. Earth style. The earth lingers on the walls. Earth style is the highest defense among the 5 escape techniques. Especially so many Iwagakure ninjas, used together. A series of rock walls rise in front of the Iwagakure ninja. Chapter 111. People are stupid. Advertise here. Boom, boom, boom. The roar of the explosion continued for a while. Even these people think that they are in charge of defense. But after all, they still underestimated Qingshan Ryuyun's dragon's breath flame. These earth flow walls are simply broken at the touch of a touch. The moment it was bombarded by the dragon's breath flame, it exploded opened. How can it be? The Iwagakure ninjas at the front are still unbelievable. But the dragon's breath flame at this time, as if covering the sky, covering the path towards them. It's over. Facing such a powerful flame. In all Iwagakure's serious hearts, such words can't help but arise. Unmatched power. Right here, 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki, who is the shadow of a village. Of course, you can't choose to continue watching the show indifferently. Dust Escape. One original world stripping technique. The white cube appeared in the hands of Onoki. Under the control of Oyemu, the power of the dust escape instantly surrounded the sky full of flames. Then they disappeared together, although the dragon's breath flame can be used endlessly. But Qingshan Ryuyun still smiled and stopped. As this dust escape. The ability that is exclusive to Onoki, the blood succeeds in eliminating the dust. In theory, the power of blood succession elimination is far beyond the general blood succession limit. Especially the extent to which Onoki knows. All matter that is attacked can be decomposed into molecules. The silent kind. This is true, there is no scum in the dead. Humph. With a cold snort, I haven't waited for Onoki to say something proudly. Just listen to Qingshan Ryuyun continuing to say. You short winter melon, you still have some strength. Dwarf wax gourd. This name, even Cloud Shinobi village with blood feuds, dare not call it that way. This is Onogi, the first time I heard someone dared to call himself that. While stunned, he was still full of incredible faces. Any questions? Qingshan Ryuyun naturally crooked his neck with a full face, and said, carrying his mace. Aren't you just a short man? Although there are many ninjas in the ninja world, they look strange. But it is really rare to be as short as Onoki. You guy. The figure is suspended in the air, and a pair of eyes are firmly locked to Qingshan Ryuyun. Looking at Oyemu like this, it is obvious that Qingshan Ryuyun is completely irritated. The morale at Cloud Shinobi Village has eased a lot because of this. In the eyes of the major ninja villages, the shadows of their villages are basically invincible. So when Onoki appeared, those who were still worried. Seeking flowers 0. The ninjas who couldn't beat Qingshan Ryuyun were relieved in an instant. Master Tsuchikage is invincible. Tsuchikage-sama is the strongest. Dare to underestimate our Tsuchikage-sama, it's almost death. Humph. Master Tsuchikage will definitely defeat you. If Cloud Shinobi Village's 4th Raikage UI knows the idea of Onoki. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. There are so many fans who have left Qingshan Ryuyun. Thinking of this, Oyemu couldn't hold back a silly laugh. It's a pity, Onogi who doesn't know the situation. However, the surrounding of these ninjas made Onoki's mentality more arrogant. Could it be that you still can't beat Qingshan Ryuyun? At that time, the title of the largest ninja village in the ninja world will belong to Iwagakure. But at this moment, it has already brought out all the high-end combat power of the entire Cloud Shinobi village. After defeating Qingshan Ryuyun, Iwagakure led by himself. Moreover, the richest fire country in the territory will also belong to Iwagakure. Ha ha, wake up, old man. Even our Cloud Shinobi village was hanged, you old fellow, don't you really think Iwagakure is better than Cloud Shinobi village? You can completely defeat Konoha. 8. It is estimated that he will nod directly affirmatively. Almost imaginable, if it's one-on-one, maybe Onoki will still be a little jealous. Qingshan Ryuyun, Chapter 112 Thunder 8 Trigrams Boom Tsuchikage. Advertise here. What is this old guy smirking? Qingshan Ryuyun, carrying a mace, looked at Oyemu inexplicably. Suddenly I became silly and happy. I don't know, I thought it was suddenly wise. Quote. Hyuga Hiyashi and others behind Qingshan Ryuyun shrugged with the same doubt. Even they can't guess Onogi's thoughts. Ahem. It may be a reaction, my current behavior is a bit silly. Onomu immediately cleared his throat on 927. Restored to the previous solemn aura, looked at Qingshan Ryuyun. It's just a mere junior, under the dust of the old man, turn into dust. While speaking, between Onoki's hands, condensed again something similar to a cube. Dust escape one original world stripping technique. Under the control of Onoki, the power of the dust quickly shrouded in the direction of Qingshan Ryuyun. Any matter encountered along the way is all decomposed into molecules by the power of the dust. Wow, Qingshan Ryuyun flashed to the side. Looking at the position where I was just now, it has been completely decomposed by the power of the dust. His eyes raised his brows inexplicably. Is this the power of Shendun? It's a bit dangerous. I have to say that this power to break down everything. It's really dangerous. It did not live up to the reputation of being eliminated by the blood. Humph. Although he missed a hit, Onoki didn't have much panic. Instead, after hearing Qingshan Ryuyun's sigh, Oyemu snorted triumphantly. The strongest creature is nothing under the dust of the old man. I have to say, this is installed. Feel the will of Onoki. Even the ninja on Iwagakure's side has become relaxed. The proud looks. It seems to these people that they, Iwagakure, are set to win. Shendun is troublesome. But, the power of the dust, this Qingshan Ryuyun admits. It's just that, looking at Onoki's figure that is about 1 meter suspended in midair. Qingshan Ryuyun grinned. I just don't know if your physical skills are like Shendun, so troublesome. Qingshan Ryuyun's words make Onoki frown slightly. Haven't waited for Onogi to ask more. Qingshan Ryuyun instantly disappeared into the sight of Oyemu. Not good. Reminiscent of what Qingshan Ryuyun just said. Onoki realized a sense of crisis in an instant, his hands were sealed, and he was about to turn around. Dust escape. Thunder 8 trigrams. With the power of observation hockey. Qingshan Ryuyun can easily find the gap where Onoki attacks. Then, a mace banged directly. Pung. Like playing baseball. Everyone only felt a flower in front of their eyes, and then the figure of Oyeki was directly blown out. Those rock shinobi, who were still full of confidence, were a little astonished for an instant. It seems to be worried whether Qingshan Ryuyun will continue to chase after victory. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Hurry up and save people. Are you all stupid? Organize the manpower and run 0.8 towards the direction where Onoki was bombed. Although Shendun is dangerous, if you can't hit it, you will lose that threat. Damn it. As for Huang Tu himself, he looked at Qingshan Ryuyun with a guard. Everyone reacted now. It's just that Qingshan Ryuyun didn't do anything. FK off. Called by Huang Tu. Instead, he picked up his mace again and smiled disdainfully. Under what circumstances didn't it win? As the son of Onoki, Huang Tu was the first to react. Ah, it just flew out. How come it seems to be their Tsuchikage? Qingshan Ryuyun's reaction made Huang Tu even more angry. Looking at the people around him, he was still stunned, and Huang Tu roared directly. Chapter 113 This is the real strongest creature. Advertise here. Old Z. Han. What are you waiting for? No way. Angry Lois. I can only glared at the side, showing a little indifferent 5 tails Jinchuriki Han and 4 tails Jinchuriki Lao Z. After looking at each other, The two people's anger at the lowest appeared very calm. Although we are the ninjas of Iwagakure, you are not qualified to order us. Who do you think you are? Sometimes Onogi can talk about them. That's because Onoki's strength is enough, and Iwagakure's third Tsuchikage. But what about your Lois? In addition to the identity of the son of Tsuchikage, there is no place on Huang Tu's body that can be admired by others. Damn it, Lao Zi and Han's contempt. Make the Lois more angry. However, I dare not say anything, just like this. Huang Tu does not have the qualifications to order the two Jinchuriki. Fortunately, the old Zi and Han, after all, are in love with Iwagakure. After looking at Huang Shi contemptuously, the two were no longer far away. Facing Qingshan Ryuyun together, unexpectedly, we will have 19 together one day. Just take it for Iwagakure. While talking, Lao Zi and Han became serious one after another. At first, they despised Qingshan Ryuyun, the strongest creature. But from Qingshan Ryuyun's ability to fly Onogi out with one blow. The guy in front of you really can't be treated with common sense. Lava-style chakra mode, steam armor. This is a special blood heir belonging to 4 Tails Jinchuriki and 5 Tails Jinchuriki. Lao Zi's whole body instantly burned with hot, high-temperature lava. And Han's whole body is also exuding terrifying high-temperature steam, like armor. That's interesting. Looking left and right, Qingshan Ryuyun started to rush towards his old Zi and Han. Qingshan Ryuyun smiled. Hung. Hit the other side of the shoulder directly on the ground. Weird power. Propelled by the steam, Han's punch slammed into Qingshan Ryuyun's position fiercely. Hung. On Qingshan Ryuyun's palm, the pitch-black armament hockey began to wrap around. Just raising his hand, he steadily caught this strong punch. How can it be? Han himself knows the power of his punch best. How could it be relieved so simply? For a moment, Han looked at Qingshan Ryuyun in amazement. Han, get out. This is Lao Zi's voice, which happened to be heard. Han didn't think much, and immediately flashed away. Lava-style one burning river rock technique. The scorching high-temperature lava fireball, under the power of Lao Zi, slammed into the position of Qingshan Ryuyun. Regarding this, Qingshan Ryuyun just turned sideways slightly. Not avoiding. While leaning sideways, Qingshan Ryuyun's arms slightly closed. Surrounding armament hockey's fist, it blasted out in an instant. Hung. With a dull sound, the hot lava ball was directly blasted to pieces. Among these slags, transformed into the old purple of lava chakra mode. The figure quickly approached Qingshan Ryuyun. And many more. Seeing Lao Zi's movements, Han instantly understood what. I just wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Lava-style a granite. Like Han's weird power, Lao Zi's move is also a melee ability. The lava on the arm became more and more dazzling. The high temperature has distorted the surrounding air. Go to hell. A fist hit Qingshan Ryuyun fiercely. Hung. The situation is similar to when facing Han. Qingshan Ryuyun simply raised his palm, and steadily caught Lao Zi's punch. How can it be? Lao Zi couldn't believe it. But the Han on the side can understand. I knew it. Even one's own strange power can catch it. It seems that it can catch Lao Zi's punch. It doesn't seem strange. Catch Lao Zi's fist steadily with one hand. Under armament hockey's defense. Qingshan Ryuyun's palm did not even burn the slightest. Is it finished? Only this point. Qingshan Ryuyun said this sentence with a chuckle. These two Jinchuriki may have an extraordinary status in Iwagakure, and their strength is good. But it's a pity that Qingshan Ryuyun doesn't have the slightest feeling. Even said, it's better to face Cloud Shinobi village. At least the group of burial husbands dare to fight and fight. Damn it. Don't look down on people. Such contemptuous remarks made Lao Zi and Han a little gloomy. Even if it is contemptuous, there must be a limit. Lava-style Yuagwoshin. Standing on the edge of Qingshan Ryuyun, Lao Zi quickly formed a seal with both hands. Oh, regarding this, Qingshan Ryuyun just raised his eyebrows slightly, as if he had seen something very interesting. But other than that, Qingshan Ryuyun has no extra moves. Doesn't even mean to defend. Boom. The Jia Yin fell, centering on the old purple, the ground began to shine with crimson light 927. Hot lava burst out, lava like a hill, directly covering Lao Zi and Qingshan Ryuyun. The people on Konoha are a little panicked. After all, if Qingshan Ryuyun loses, they will fight Konoha. However, as the future patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hiyashi seems very calm. With a wave of hands, he stopped those Konoha shinobi who originally wanted to support in the past. Look at it with peace of mind, that's the strongest creature. The green veins in the corner of the eye have already explained that Hyuga Hiyashi has opened Byakugan. It can be clearly seen that even in the face of such lava, Qingshan Ryuyun's life characteristics did not show the slightest fluctuation. No wonder I can slap Cloud Shinobi village for 2 full years. Is this the real strongest creature? Hyuga Hiyashi sighed. This kind of power is really the first time I have seen it. Ha 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 ha. In the lava like little Yamanaka. There came Qingshan Ryuyun's heroic laughter. This is a good trick. Are there any others? What this said, it seemed that he was not here to fight against Lao Zi, but as if she was watching Lao Zi performing acrobatics. Chapter 114 Half Dragon. Dragon's breath flame. Advertise here. I saw that when the lava gradually dissipated, Qingshan Ryuyun's undamaged figure began to emerge. Although there is still some lava left on the body. But it did not bring any harm to Qingshan Ryuyun. As if these lava, there is no temperature. How can it be? Old Z was shocked. I am immune to lava, because the lava-style chakra mode is turned on. But how is this guy in front of him immune to lava? Monster. Absolutely a monster, able to be immune to the physique of high-temperature lava. This is not what a monster is. If this is the only thing, then I will do it next. Qingshan Ryuyun smiled slightly. If all the moves are finished, then Qingshan Ryuyun has no idea about it. Steam comes in. At this moment, Qingshan Ryuyun and Lao Zi heard the roar of Han. I saw the Han surrounded by high-temperature steam. As if the super accelerator is turned on. Under the influence of the steam, Han's punch slammed into Qingshan Ryuyun fiercely. Thunder 8 trigrams. This is the strongest punch of Han. Unfortunately, the opponent is a monster like Qingshan Ryuyun. Even a punch that exceeds the limit does not have much effect. Boom. The other side shining with thunder, under the wave of Qingshan Ryuyun. Facing Han's fist, he banged directly. Hung. It's almost the same as when dealing with Onogi before. Like playing baseball, Han's figure was directly beaten out. Chinese. Seeing the man who was beaten out, Lao Zi was a little concerned and confused. At the same time, one instant, the figure of Qingshan Ryuyun came to Lao Zi's side. Don't panic, it's you next. You guy, it's just a terrifying monster. It's just that Lao Zi hasn't finished speaking yet. I can only see that the shadow of the mace is fast approaching myself. Subsequently, boom. Like Five Tails Jinchuriki Han, Lao Zi was also blown out. Earth-style one-stone giant. At this moment, Oyemu's voice suddenly echoed on the battlefield. Boom, boom. The earth began to crack, a rock giant about 10 meters or so rushed out of the ground. Above the head of the rock giant, you can also see the big wild wood floating in the air. Obviously, this ninjutsu was used by Onogi. Boom. The monster-like arms of the stone giant slammed into Qingshan Ryuyun's position together. The whole land of the battlefield was shaken by it. Dust Escape One original world stripping technique. Onoki's attack has not stopped. The cube energy that represents the elimination of the blood and the dust, quickly rushed to the place that was bombed by the rock giant. Smoke of gunpowder, dust flying. Call. Oyeki, who landed on the ground again, adjusted his breath slightly. Resolve it. Oyemu has been waiting for this opportunity, wanting to instantly kill Qingshan Ryuyun. Now it looks like it was a success. At this time, Four Tails Jinchuriki Lao Zi and Five Tails Jinchuriki Han also came over with the slapped ones. Although Qingshan Ryuyun's power makes them a little embarrassed. But it won't make them lose the ability to continue fighting. It looks like it's over. Good job, old man Tsuchikage. Seeing this scene, Lao Zi and Han also thought that Qingshan Ryuyun had been resolved. Call. With such a compliment, Onoki said, I really don't feel happy at all. I flipped through Byakugan irritably, too lazy to take care of anything. Raising your hand, just about to greet the delighted rock shinobi, when you want to say something. Suddenly, someone seemed to have noticed something. Pointing in the direction of the fog and dust in amazement. What is that? Really? Is that guy a monster? I saw that Qingshan Ryuyun walked out slowly in the fog and dust of the sky. It's just that it's completely different from before. At this time, Qingshan Ryuyun has transformed into a half-dragon state. The dragon scale tattoo on the body has begun to materialize. The pair of dragon horns on his head make Qingshan Ryuyun, who is half animal, look like an ancient beast. The height of about 5 or 6 meters. The whole body will emit some mist from time to time. Good job, Oyemu. At this time, there were some scars on Qingshan Ryuyun's body. After all, it is dust escape. Qingshan Ryuyun has no use to use armament hockey's power to protect himself. It's not that Qingshan Ryuyun is stupid, I don't know how to use it. But because. No need. I saw those scars on Qingshan Ryuyun's body. All are recovering quickly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Within a few breaths, these scars have been restored as before. Quote. How is it possible? This kind of resilience. Even if the strength is so strong, what is this kind of resilience? How to fight against such an opponent? Even Lao Zi and Han were a little surprised. As Jinchuriki, their resilience is far beyond ordinary people. But even so, there is no way to compare with Qingshan Ryuyun's resilience. It feels as if this is not a dimensional power at all. How do you look down on people to say such things? When the voice fell, the dragon scales on Qingshan Ryuyun began to glow with crimson brilliance. Noma's this kind of tone that seems to be able to influence a war at will. The dragon's breath flame with a destructive aura slammed in the direction of Oyemu. Dragon breath. Boom. If it is the dragon's breath flame in the normal state, the dust of Onoki can still be defended. Including the power nephew of dragon's breath flame. Damn it. All the powers of Qingshan Ryuyun have been bonuses. However, after half-dragonization, Rock Shinobi, headed by Onoki, are a little angry. Before I can think about it, Onogi immediately used Dust Escape to defend. Dust Escape One original world stripping technique. Qingshan Ryuyun no longer gives these people a chance to hesitate. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. This war, that's the end, you are no longer worthy of ant-like power. Pity, Chapter 115 The Horror of Hyuga Hazashi. Advertise here. Boom, boom, boom. The explosion sound is endless. Even if Onoki has used dust escape. But the dragon's breath flame that obscures the sky and the sun. It will not be so simple, it can be resisted. What's more, Oyeki at this time has not yet fully understood the will of the stone. There is no possibility of exploding. Enough. The explosion sound continued for about 10 minutes. Finally, the big wild wood that chakra gathers and consumes can't hold it. Now Oyemu can't care about his face anymore, and hastily shouted in the direction of Qingshan Ryuyun. Raising his eyebrows slightly, Qingshan Ryuyun then stopped the power of the dragon's breath flame. The original battlefield, under the envelope of the dragon's breath flame. It has been completely changed at this moment. In some places, something similar to magma was burned out. As for those more than 3,000 rock shinobi, at this moment, there is no one who can stand up. It seems that there are no ordinary people. Rock shinobi, who survived, looked at Qingshan Ryuyun with fearful eyes. Although they trust Tsuchikage, they can continue to fight. But believe, no matter how delusional they are, they don't think they can defeat Konoha. Old man, 943. Facing the gazes around, Oyemu was silent. Even at this time, Onoki is still a very pure egoist. But Onoki also knew that if the fighting continued, possibly, the entire Cloud Shinobi village will be gone. Enough, enough, you have done your best. In addition, Onoki didn't know what to say. Greater than, Iwagakure is a little silent here. They are not fools, they all know the meaning of Oyemu's words. Basically it means that they have lost Iwagakure. Even Huang Shi, who was very confident before the war, was silent at this time. Oyemu turned his head and stared at Qingshan Ryuyun's direction. As if to imprint this figure completely in my mind. We, Iwagakure, didn't lose to Konoha, we just lost to you. Onoki couldn't admit that their Iwagakure would be inferior to Konoha. Moreover, in this battle, Konoha's ninja didn't even move. It was Qingshan Ryuyun, BJAI, who did it. A shinobu village was hanged and beaten by a man. At this time, Onoki was able to understand why in the previous 2 years, the gangsters of Cloud Shinobi village will be hanged by Konoha for 2 years. Enemy with such a monster. It's not normal not to be hanged. But for Onoki's eyes. Qingshan Ryuyun shrugged casually and said in a rather disgusting tone. Give up and give up. Don't talk nonsense, okay. Oyemu was silent for a moment. I didn't say anything, just commanding the rest of Iwagakure's ninjas, and they started to return. They Iwagakure lost. Won. We won. Victory. We Konoha won. After all Iwagakure ninjas have exited. The ninjas of Konoha still have a dreamlike feeling. Obviously, in this war, they didn't do anything, all it was Qingshan Ryuyun fought again. After watching a play, you won. These people, after staring at each other in circles for a while, began to be in a trance. Before the war, they still didn't believe in Qingshan Ryuyun, the new leader. But now, one by one, they all looked at Qingshan Ryuyun with a look of worship. Sure enough, in the shinobi world, as long as you are strong enough, there will never be a lack of followers. Master Ryuyun. At this time, Hyuga Hiyashi also came over. Although before the war, Hyuga Hiyashi had anticipated the possibility of such an outcome. But when it happens, Hyuga Hiyashi still can't suppress the joy in his heart. Let's go. Picking up the mace that was thrown aside before, Qingshan Ryuyun grinned. Take the lead and return to the camp on Konoha's side. Hyuga Hiyashi also laughed. It seems that my Hyuga clan also needs to stand. The Hyuga clan, from the beginning of Konoha's establishment, it has lived steadily until now. In addition to the strict rules of the Hyuga clan. More, it's because they are very smart and know what it means to judge the situation. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen stepped down. This is already doomed. Originally, I saw that Sarutobi Hiruzen intends to cultivate Namikaze Minato. Hyuga Hiyashi is preparing to stand Namikaze Minato. But now, Namikaze Minato, the title of Konoha Sinner, is basically a real hammer. Although it is not directly judged as rebellious or something. But it is obviously impossible to become Hokage. Big brother. At this time, Hyuga Hazashi on the side also walked over. Hazashi, who has a simpler mind, looked at Qingshan Ryuyun's leaving back, with a little worship in his eyes. That's amazing. Lord Ryuyun. Hiyashi also sighed. But this sigh is not for Qingshan Ryuyun, but for Hyuga Hiyashi. Why are you not my sister? Why must it be the younger brother? So hard. I seem to miss this kind of person. Of course, this is more because those people are not very strong. You won't be, and even if they are married, they will be marked with the curse of caged bird. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Such things as marriage are not uncommon in the shinobi world. In order to preserve the blood, the Hyuga clan rarely married. I was just thinking, if you are a younger sister, you can marry Qingshan Ryuyun. Big brother. Glancing irritably. Enough for those old stubborn Hyuga clan, change the pervert degree. I still sighed, but seeing Hazashi like this, Hiashi said with a black line. You think too much. Suddenly being said that, Hazashi was shocked. Greater than greater than greater than greater than greater than greater than. As far as Qingshan Ryuyun demonstrated the strength. Looking at the horrified look, it is obvious that something bad has been thought of. With his own serious brother, Hazashi's footsteps, can't help but step back a bit. Chapter 116 One Person Against One Shinobu Village. Advertise here. So, in this ninja world, after all, strength determines everything. So this is all. After being said that, Hyuga Hazashi was a little relieved. My brother likes Ryuyun-sama so much. But Hyuga Hazashi is still a little confused. I didn't think that my eldest brother had even the idea of marriage. Do you think that the strong people who can slap Cloud Shinobi Village and Iwagakure separately are not worthy of our seriousness? Hiashi turned his head. Didn't you pick it? I looked at Hyuga Hazashi. All right. After being silent for a while, Hazashi still nodded. A question that can't be refuted at all. After all, Hyuga Hazashi is just not as smart as Hyuga Hiashi only. But not a fool. When I think of the strength that Qingshan Ryuyun has just shown, I have nothing to say. Okay. Go back first. How to do it? Wait for me to think about it. Hyuga Hiashi waved his hand, no longer entangled with Hazashi. Hiashi is still entangled. What kind of conditions should be used? To stand beside Qingshan Ryuyun. As the future patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hiashi has already begun to consider for the Hyuga clan. But the specific method, Hiashi has not thought about it. But it's okay. The day when the war really ended. There is still a long time. There is enough time for Hyuga Hiashi to think. No matter what decision Big Brother makes, I will support it. Hazashi is random. Anyway, what the Big Brother asked me to do, I will do what I do. At this time, the relationship between the brothers of Hiashi and Hazashi is still very good. Quote. The eldest brother with me deserves to be a little tired. Sometimes, Hiashi is very envious of his brother's way of life. Too random. On the other side, compared to Konoha's cheerfulness. At this time, Iwagakure camp is boring. Master Tsuchikage. Even the Lois, which is more talkative in the past, doesn't know what to say at this time. Jinchuriki of 4 tails and 5 tails. The performance is fairly normal. As always, sitting calmly not far away, what just happened on the battlefield. Just to recall, it makes old Z and Han feel a feeling of palpitations. Old Z, Han, Huang Tu directly looked in the direction of these two Jinchuriki. Why not turn into a tail beast? If the tail beast is, you can definitely defeat the Qingshan Ryuyun. Huang Tu's sudden accusation. Old Z and Han couldn't help but look at each other. Then he spoke to the Lois unceremoniously. Idiot. You. The Lois that has said so is obviously a little angry. But others may have adapted to Lois because of the identity of the son of Tsuchikage. But Lao Z and Han are not such people at all. Even third Tsuchikage Onoki, they sometimes don't give face, let alone you, the son of Tsuchikage. Let's not mention that on the battlefield of Cloud Shinobi Village, this Qingshan Ryuyun was fighting with the 8 tails hanging from the 8 tails. What's more, we are not perfect Jinchuriki. If the tail can be transformed into a beast, Lao Z and Han are not stupid, how could they not become a beast? But the situation does not allow it. Once the tail is transformed into a beast, we will lose our minds. We will not be able to beat the Qingshan Ryuyun, let alone our Iwagakure village. You can't stop 4 tails and 5 tails from going violently together. Old Z and Han are already cage-level powerhouses themselves. But unfortunately, none of them can perfectly control the power of the tail beast. Once the tail is completely animalized, the result is not difficult to believe. I lost my mind directly because of violent walking. When the time comes, that will be the real enemy and us. This. Huang Tu was a little bit choked up. Just because he lost to Konoha, it made Huang Tu want to find someone to criticize it. This does not mean that the Lois is brain dead. The words of Lao Zi and Han, Huang Tu has no way to refute. That you. What are you going to say far-fetched? But at this moment, Oyemu on the main seat waved his hand with a slightly impatient face. Enough. Shut up. Onoki, this Tsuchikage maid, is still very dangerous. Fresh flowers 0. A word came out, and in the meeting room where there was a lot of discussion, immediately fell silent. If you are injured, go to heal, don't think about other things, Iwagakure, we haven't completely defeated yet. Obviously, Onogi couldn't think of it for a while. What means can be used to deal with Qingshan Ryuyun? This. After looking at each other, everyone nodded. Yes, you look at me, I looked at, and then left the meeting room side by side. Compared with the confidence before, all people now look dejected. With that Qingshan Ryuyun, even if they have confidence in Iwagakure and Tsuchikage, I don't think it can beat Konoha. My father. What else is Huang Tu going to say? Okay. The extra words are meaningless to say, you go down first. This is. Lois is very helpless, looking at his expressionless father. After sighing slightly, Huang Tu nodded. After leaving the meeting room together. Oh, Konoha is really the cradle of genius. Even Onoki, who is Tsuchikage, is a bit envious and hated. This Konoha's genius is endless. Regardless of the previous Jiraiya and Namikaze Minato. Still now Qingshan Ryuyun, one is better than the other. One is more ridiculous. Soon, the news that Iwagakure was repulsed was sent back to Konoha. Those who were originally worried about the Cloud Shinobi village incident. One after another feels relieved. Very good. You deserve to be Ryuyun-sama. With Ryuyun-sama, there won't be any problems, right? Qingshan Ryuyun's reputation has improved a bit. Among the civilians who cheered Qingshan Ryuyun, some were beaten and scolded by Qingshan Ryuyun. But it doesn't matter. In the eyes of these people, as long as you are strong enough. Everything that is said is right. I dare not say anything about Qingshan Ryuyun. Chapter 117 Sarutobi Hiruzen. The old man is totally unhappy. Advertise here. Ha 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 ha. Really deserves to be an old lady's man. Tsunade, who received the news, held the communication scroll and smiled happily. When Qingshan Ryuyun was transferred to Iwagakure, Tsunade didn't think that Qingshan Ryuyun would have an accident. After all, that was the man chosen by the old lady. As expected of Ryuyun-kun. Orochimaru on the side also smiled and said. But unlike Tsunade, when Orochimaru said this, his eyes flickered. Obviously planning some other things. Master Ryuyun's strength has become stronger again. In the Konoha camp on the battlefield of Cloud Shinobi village. Hitaki Shumo, who also received the news, is getting together with the Ino Shika-cho trio. That guy is really a monster. Hitaki Sakumo smiled. 943, and sighed. Naru Lukisa on the side, after hearing such words. He smiled and said to Hitaki Sakumo. If Ryuyun-sama is here, if I hear your words, I will definitely beat you up. Billow. First, I was taken aback. Then Hitaki Sakumo gave Ino Shika-cho a glance. How do you say it is also a magnificent Konoha's white fang, don't you want to lose face? Yo, Shuamao, Lu Ju, Ding Zuo and Hai, you are all here. At this time, Jiraiya brought Namikaze Minato and walked over from a short distance. Jiraiya has supported the Cloud Shinobi village battlefield for some time. With the top combat power of Jiraiya, although it is not said to defeat Cloud Shinobi village, but it has been able to resist it. Lord Jiraiya, are the people from Cloud Shinobi village attacking? The appearance of Jiraiya and Namikaze Minato, Hitaki and Ino Shika-cho couldn't help but glance at each other. No, it's news from the battlefield of Iwagakure. Apparently, Jiraiya himself also received the news. It's amazing, has Ryuyun grown to this point? Jiraiya sighed. Although I have always known that Qingshan Ryuyun's strength is very strong, but I did not expect it to be so strong. On the side, Namikaze Minato, who is following Jiraiya, has a complicated face. Speaking of jealousy, there are actually some. Namikaze Minato knows that compared with the sinner Konoha, Qingshan Ryuyun at this time is Konoha's hero. Well, Lord Ryuyun's strength has always been strong, otherwise he wouldn't be able to slap Cloud Shinobi village into a second-rate shinobi village. When saying this, Narushikaji also glanced sideways at Namikaze Minato. There are only guys like you. I think that Cloud Shinobi village is weak, not Qingshan Ryuyun's strength is too strong. Namikaze Minato is not stupid, how can I not see the meaning of Narukajiu? But, there is absolutely no way to refute it. Ahahaha. It's all over, then, we still have to fight hard. No way, after all, he is his apprentice. Jiraiya can only stand up for Namikaze Minato. Fortunately, Hitaki Shumo and Ino Shika-cho didn't mean to struggle more with this issue. After taking a last look at Jiraiya and Namikaze Minato, they were about to leave. Master Jiraiya, we still have business, let's go first. With that, the Ino Shika-cho 3 directly turned and left. It just so happens, I also went to see Kakashi's swordsmanship, how is the practice? With that, Hitaki Sakumo also followed. Originally, their relationship with Jiraiya, Namikaze Minato. It's not so good, but it's not bad. But because of Namikaze Minato's battlefield mistakes. Now can they not directly scold Namikaze Minato, it is very good for Jiraiya. Hey, let's chat, what are you doing so fast? What did Jiraiya deliberately say? But Namikaze Minato on the side shook his head with a wry smile. Needless to say, Mr. Jiraiya, I deserve it. It's not that Namikaze Minato can see. And Namikaze Minato has already imagined that there will be such a result. These people are themselves following Lord Ryuyun, I grabbed the position of Commander-in-Chief Qingshan Ryuyun. And also ruined more than 1,000 Konoha shinobi. Until now, when talking about this matter, in Namikaze Minato's eyes, it is still hard to hide the humbleness. It would be great if they didn't scold me directly. The Konoha shinobi who survived the battle before. During this time, I looked at Namikaze Minato with bitter eyes. As if to say, why do you want to come over, why do you want to shoot Qingshan Ryuyun's location? Otherwise, they would never lose to Cloud Shinobi village. Minato, seeing such Namikaze Minato, even if Jiraiya had the heart to persuade him, he didn't know what to say. Just sighed silently. Namikaze Minato's current behavior, it's a bit ugly. It's atonement for the previous mistakes. Jiraiya does not expect Namikaze Minato anymore, he will become Hokage one day. Only hope. After the war is over, when his disciples return to Konoha, they will not have so much abuse. Even if people are not in Konoha now. But Jiraiya can imagine. Konoha's gang must have referred to Namikaze Minato as Konoha's sinner. Anyway, Iwagakure battlefield victory. Jiraiya and Namikaze Minato are still very happy. Except for Konoha F4 on the Kurigakure battlefield. I believe that the entire ninja of Konoha is cheering for the strength of Qingshan Ryuyun. This Qingshan Ryuyun is indeed the man who is called the strongest creature. At this time, the person responsible for leading the Uchiha clan on the Kurigakure battlefield has become Uchiha Fugaku. It may be 0.8 years old, or it may be to help Uchiha Fugaku build momentum. So the current Uchiha Patriarch, the father of Uchiha Fugaku, intentionally led Uchiha Fugaku brush some more prestige. In the meeting room, looking at this news, Uchiha Fugaku said with a slight sigh. Fugaku doesn't think so much now. I just sigh that Qingshan Ryuyun's strength is very strong, even if Konoha faces the cooperation of the four shinobu villages. Can also be invincible. As for other ideas, there are no more. It's just that what Uchiha Fugaku didn't notice was. I sigh like this. Let the Konoha F4, headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen, look a little ugly. Chapter 118. The strength is not good. Chi-Chi and crooked can be. Advertise here. Ahem. I deliberately cleared my throat, and deliberately reminded Uchiha Fugaku. My Hokage is still here. Master Hokage. Uchiha Fugaku, who reacted, took the news and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with a little joy. Iwagakure has a great victory on the battlefield. That Qingshan Ryuyun defeated Iwagakure with one man. Hokage-sama, you must be very happy too. Quote comma comma closing parenthesis. Happy. Happy day. Question mark. QG. Plus. %. The old man longed for Qingshan Ryuyun to die on the battlefield of Iwagakure. Of course, in this case, Sarutobi Hiruzen definitely cannot say it directly. Fortunately, Sarutobi Hiruzen's castle is enough. Even if I feel angry again, but on the surface, I still know how to pretend. Ahem. That's right, Iwagakure won the battlefield, of course the old man is happy. It seems to be afraid of Uchiha Fugaku, saying something. Sarutobi Hiruzen said quickly, Fugaku, you first arrange the Uchiha clan personnel, take precautions, the old man is worried that Kurigakure's people will take this opportunity to attack me Konoha. What is said is well-founded and convincing. Uchiha Fugaku has nothing to refute, only 19 nodded. Yes. After responding, Uchiha Fugaku turned around and left the meeting room. Originally in the meeting room, Uchiha Fugaku still looked unconcerned. But as soon as he left, Uchiha Fugaku was full of disdain. The thoughts of those old guys, how could Uchiha Fugaku fail to guess? You can be jealous. However, I also want to plan a way out for the Uchiha clan. As the patriarch of the future Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fugaku has the responsibility to lead the Uchiha family to a better future. Looking at this scroll, Qingshan Ryuyun is recorded. Uchiha Fugaku's eyes flickered, walking without a word. I think this Uchiha Fugaku is not a good thing. As soon as Uchiha Fugaku left, F4's comments came in the meeting room. Everyone knows the truth, so speaking, there is no need to cover up too much. Mitokado Homura on the side directly echoed and said. Yes, what is Qingshan Ryuyun? Didn't it just defeat Iwagakure? What's so great? In this case, let Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo, who are still a bit sane. I flipped a Byakugan altogether. It's nothing to defeat Iwagakure. Then you go and defeat me and see. I know that I listened to the crooked here. Hiruzen. I'm too lazy to pay attention to Mitokado Homura and Udatain Kaharu's Danzo. Said directly to Sarutobi Hiruzen. I think the future patriarch of the Uchiha clan has a very problematic thinking. Qingshan Ryuyun, Danzo dare not say anything, especially when it comes to ninja. But Uchiha Fugaku doesn't know. Not to mention, Danzo has long seen the Uchiha clan very unpleasant. Danzo just wanted to take this opportunity to hit the Uchiha clan. Anyway, Uchiha Fugaku will succeed the next patriarch of the Uchiha clan. This matter, they Konoha F4, have already known about it. Yes, at this time, even Udatain Kaharu and Mitokado Homura nodded immediately. Uchiha Fugaku, thinking is very problematic. What did you say that Qingshan Ryuyun is very good, can't we not be good? Udatain Kaharu and Mitokado Homura sometimes say. Sarutobi Hiruzen really doesn't want to talk to him, he is too mentally retarded. But when dealing with Danzo, Qingshan Ryuyun will still be serious. I know what you mean. Danzo's careful thinking, Sarutobi Hiruzen knows. But now, it's not the time yet. They are now dealing with Kurigakure, and they need the power of the Uchiha clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen also doesn't like the Uchiha clan. It's just that, unlike Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is very deep in the city, will never take his mind. It's so simple to show it. Humph. With a cold snort, Danzo didn't say much. After all, if they want to fight Kurigakure, they must rely on the power of the Uchiha clan. Although dissatisfied, it is useless. Master Hokage, Master Elder. At this time, an Anbu figure appeared in the meeting room. Kurigakure is ready to go to war again. Anbu's subpoena caused F4, which had been talking about it, to stop in an instant. Looking at each other, they are all helpless. These people from Kurigakure, can't you think of other questions besides starting a war? How helpless, it's only a few days since the last war. This is the beginning. Send a message to Qingshan Ryuyun and let him defeat Iwagakure. What can Sarutobi Hiruzen do? I just hope that Qingshan Ryuyun can end Iwagakure soon, and then come to support them. Although I know that this situation is a bit unrealistic. But it's better than doing nothing. Hey, this old man seems to be about to be unable to hold it anymore. The news of Sarutobi Hiruzen's 947 request for support soon reached Qingshan Ryuyun. Seeing this news, Qingshan Ryuyun first smiled casually. Then he threw the scroll aside. Indeed, Qingshan Ryuyun has never cared whether Sarutobi Hiruzen is unhappy. Qingshan Ryuyun's disdain for third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. But the position of Hokage is just given to others. Qingshan Ryuyun is not very comfortable either. I was muttered in an instant. With one hand on his chin, Qingshan Ryuyun thought about it. Anyway, the most important thing is that Laozi is not happy. See if I don't care, it's over. However, in the face of this, only brothers Hiashi and Hizashi are left in the meeting room. But Sarutobi Hiruzen has not officially abdicated after all. Hiashi and Hizashi are still a little bit embarrassed. When did you see I cared about Hokage's orders? Although the two brothers have decided to stand. Although I am afraid of trouble, I don't want to be Hokage. The two brothers watched their noses, and those who watched their hearts as if they hadn't seen them. Qingshan Ryuyun said nonchalantly, but, thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Master Ryuyun, how do you say this? It is also a message from Hokage. Chapter 119 Fourth Hokage. Senju Tsunade. Advertise here. You said, what if Tsunade succeeds this fourth Hokage? Yes, this is what Qingshan Ryuyun thinks. In itself, Tsunade is the fifth Hokage of the future. It doesn't seem to be a problem to succeed the fourth generation ahead of time. This sudden remark made Hyuga Hiashi and Hyuga Hizashi a little surprised at it. After all, this third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen has not officially stepped down yet. It's not sound, but talking about such things now is nothing short of rebellious. But, who cares? We don't think it's a problem at all. Hiashi and Hizashi looked at each other. Together, they looked at Qingshan Ryuyun seriously. Everyone knows that Qingshan Ryuyun and Tsunade are a pair. This Tsunade becomes Hokage, and Qingshan Ryuyun becomes Hokage, there is not much difference. My Hyuga clan, I absolutely support Tsunade-sama becoming Hokage. Smiled and nodded. What is the mind of the Hyuga clan? How could Qingshan Ryuyun fail to see it? But it doesn't matter. These people are willing to follow themselves, then follow them. Anyway, for Qingshan Ryuyun, there will be nothing. Sarutobi Hiruzen can't tolerate outstanding talents, can't tolerate big families like Senju and Uchiha. Why? That's because Sarutobi Hiruzen's own strength is not very good. Even if the disguise is good, but the aura is so small. Change to first Hokage. No matter what kind of genius Konoha appears, first Hokage will not care. Not to say anything, it is normal to restrict such people. That's because first Hokage has absolute confidence. No matter how far you can grow, you are not your opponent. Strength determined by strength. And Qingshan Ryuyun now has such an aura. All right. Thinking of this, Qingshan Ryuyun didn't hesitate much and waved his hand directly. Send a message to the third generation old man and tell her that Laozi definitely has Hokage in Tsunade. Yes. The two brothers Hiashi and Hizashi did not hesitate. After receiving the order, he turned and left. On Qingshan Ryuyun, I can almost think of how to make Tsunade a Hokage. To be reasonable, Qingshan Ryuyun himself, for this position of Hokage, really don't have many ideas. Every day, the files that are exhausted and busy need to be processed. Qingshan Ryuyun is not someone who can live idle. Let Qingshan Ryuyun continue for several years. They are all sitting in the Hokage building and processing documents, that is the death of Qingshan Ryuyun. Let Tsunade be the right one. On the other side, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others, who had just finished a battle, returned to the conference room with a sullen expression. Seeing this, it is obviously a defeat. Although not directly defeated. But if you lose too much in such a small battle, in the future, I will really lose directly to Kurigakure. Damn it. Those people in Kurigakure are all nasty critics, do you want to fight for life? Sarutobi Hiruzen hammered the table viciously. My own Hokage led the team and lost, it's shameful. Master Hokage, there is news from Master Ryuyun. At this moment, Anbu's message came over suddenly. Could it be that Qingshan Ryuyun can support it? Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes lit up. Even the Danzo and others on the side are a bit pleased. After all, in these years, Qingshan Ryuyun has been perfunctory. Have never contacted them yet. Sarutobi Hiruzen picked up the messenger scroll, and just scanned it for a while, then his face turned black immediately. Damn it, what's wrong? The original expectation mentality changed in an instant. This makes Udatane Kaharu, Mitokado Homura, and Danzo on the side all confused. That Qingshan Ryuyun wants Tsunade to be the next Hokage. Qingshan Ryuyun said that Tsunade has Hokage funding. But the meaning is not very simple. Obviously threatening Qingshan Ryuyun. If you don't let Tsunade become the next Hokage, then Laozi will definitely not support you. What? Udatane Kaharu and others all screamed, Hokage, that's not a joke. Among them, Danzo's response is the biggest. After all, Danzo has never forgotten the position of Hokage. It is absolutely impossible. Tsunade is obviously with Qingshan Ryuyun. Let Tsunade become Hokage. It is better to let the old man do it. Danzo was filled with indignation. It's just that, in the first half of the sentence, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded in agreement. But as soon as the second half of the sentence came out, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others were mute for an instant. Compared to Tsunade, they don't believe Danzo even more. After getting along for so many years, they all know the roots and know the roots, making Danzo a Hokage. I am afraid that Konoha will no longer be able to settle down. After all, Danzo has always been a proper main fighter. And it's still an iron, a fan of confidence. I have always believed that I am the strongest in ninja world, and Konoha is the best in the world. Quote. I Hiruzen. What do you think? After Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura looked at each other, they looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen together. For Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura, in fact, it doesn't matter who becomes Hokage. Although they are very dissatisfied with Qingshan Ryuyun, the gap in strength. Even if they are dissatisfied, they can't do anything. Anyway, as long as you can keep your position as an elder. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Let me think again. As long as it doesn't threaten your interests, Konoha doesn't matter. We really need the power of Qingshan Ryuyun now. Now, Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't need to worry about anything at all. It would be a shame to lose to Kurigakure. Damn trash stuff, the old man believed in you so much, and you failed. Others, it doesn't matter. The meaning is to hope that Sarutobi Hiruzen can compromise. Sarutobi Hiruzen is still greedy for the power of Hokage. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help cursing Namikaze Minato in her heart. Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura are in harmony. Quote. Sarutobi Hiruzen gave these two old guys angrily. To be the most angry, Danzo is on the side. You. If Namikaze Minato really defeated Cloud Shinobi Village, Chapter 120. That's right. This is the threat. Advertise here. What do you mean, when it comes to the old man becoming a Hokage? You stop talking. Look down on people. This makes it difficult to accept the position of Hokage as Danzo that he has pursued all his life. But no way, even if Danzo wants to be Hokage again. But it's useless without everyone's support. So the current Danzo, in addition to looking at these people in front of him viciously. Nothing else can be done. It is a pity, with the face of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura. The three of them wouldn't care about Danzo's angry gaze at all. Master Hokage. At this moment, an Anbu suddenly appeared in the meeting room. What happened again? I was in a bad mood, but now I see Anbu is coming to deliver a message again. Sarutobi Hiruzen's mood is even worse. Faced with Sarutobi Hiruzen's impatience, Anbu Ninja is obviously a little embarrassed. But I didn't dare to hesitate, and said quickly. It's Kurigakure. Kurigakure's ninjas have declared war again. What? Sure enough, it is not good news. Sarutobi Hiruzen was surprised, and Danzo, who was autistic, looked over with surprise. Didn't they just fight it? Why are they here again? Didn't 947 just end a small battle? Why is it starting again? The subordinates don't know. Greater than. You are an Anbu ninja. If you can know the situation on Kurigakure's side, it would be really weird. Assemble the ninjas and fight. No way. Even though I feel helpless, Sarutobi Hiruzen can only wave his hand. Start to gather ninjas again. I have to say, compared to Kurigakure's eye-catching eyes. These Konoha shinobi people assembled by Sarutobi Hiruzen are obviously a little embarrassed. After all, I lost so many times. It's enough to die once or twice, can you continue to die so fiercely? Ahem. Mr. Mizukage, I think we can settle this matter peacefully. No way, even at this time. Sarutobi Hiruzen still wants to work hard. After all, I am really tired. Idiot. However, in the face of Sarutobi Hiruzen, the eyes of 4th Hokage Yagura didn't flicker. A simple wave of his hand, the surrounding 7 ninja swords, the major blood succession families. There are thousands of ninjas. All rushed towards Konoha's side. It's very annoying. Everyone, start war. Among the Konoha shinobi who dealt with, the ninja of the Uchiha clan was the most fierce. Among them, in addition to the headed Uchiha Fugaku, there is also a Uchiha ninja who looks very young. That's great. Shisui. Looking at the body flicker technique, being played to the ultimate level. Reaping the figure of Kurigakure ninja swiftly, Uchiha Fugaku said with appreciation. Hearing this, I stopped Uchiha Shisui of body flicker technique. The same smiled and said. This is all for Konoha, for the family. The current Uchiha Shisui, although not completely controlled by the will of fire like the future. But the glory of Konoha has also been placed in front of the family glory. Uchiha Fugaku hasn't realized anything yet. Instead, I took a look at Uchiha Shisui appreciatively. Yes, work hard to grow. The future of the Uchiha clan belongs to your young people. Yes, Lord Patriarch smiled gently. Uchiha Shisui no longer hesitated, and suddenly disappeared in the same place again. Uchiha Fugaku also stopped talking. Staring at a pair of 3-tomo Sharingan, the way of fighting is more fierce than Uchiha Shisui. That's the kid of the mirror. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was pinning the construction of Tachibana Yagura, also noticed the actions of Uchiha Shisui. At a young age BJAI it has reached the level of Jonin. The future is infinite. This Uchiha Kagami, who was also the apprentice of second Hokage, is regarded as Sarutobi Hiruzen and their companions. But it's a pity. The identity of the Uchiha clan makes Sarutobi Hiruzen completely unhappy. The Uchiha clan is indeed an evil clan, so it should be eliminated. Danzo even said maliciously. Of course, I don't dare to shout these words out loud, I can only speak in a low voice. Said it was disgusting. But in fact, full of envy. Danzo does not have any special blood. Although he has the ability to enter cage level, this is probably the culmination of Danzo's life. This makes Danzo very envious of those ninjas with special bloodlines. Ninfa a coral palm. Yagura, who found the opportunity, hit Sarutobi Hiruzen with a palm. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who reacted slowly, could only resist with a weapon in his hand. But even so, the figure of Sarutobi Hiruzen was still blown out more than 10 meters away. Looking at the golden hoop made by the ape demon in his hand, corals have begun to grow on it. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not hesitate. Hurriedly sent the Saruman back to the summoning world. This coral palm is the secret of Yagura, the level of A-level ninjutsu. Hey, you Konoha have so many geniuses. Without weapons, Sarutobi Hiruzen's strength is weaker. The police glanced at the direction of the battlefield, and Yagura smiled disdainfully. It's just that these geniuses don't seem to belong to you, third Hokage. The irony in the tone can be said to be undisguised. Humph. No matter what, since it is during the war. So for Konoha, Sarutobi Hiruzen will not show the slightest weakness. They are all Konoha's excellent ninjas, and you Kurigakure, it is absolutely impossible to defeat us Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen said righteous words, but when he listened to Yagura, he smiled disdainfully. I also really want to see, Sarutobi Hiruzen, how long can you keep guarding? Here is the advantage of the number of people. Although Kurigakure lacks top combat power, the mid-level combat power is a bit too much. As long as this keeps on playing, it must be Sarutobi Hiruzen who loses. Damn it. Sarutobi Hiruzen has an ugly face. No longer arguing about anything, a swift body rushed in the direction of Yagura again. Fire style a fire dragon fire bullet. Water style bursts into the water. Chapter 121 Sarutobi Hiruzen counseled. Advertise here. Damn. The battle is over. As expected, the Konoha Shinobi, led by Sarutobi Hiruzen, failed again. I could barely beat it before. But with the passage of time, now it is almost to the point of being hit by the fog, hidden village. As soon as he came back, Sarutobi Hiruzen was in the meeting room, angrily snarling. Mitokado Homura on the side, turned sleeping Kaharu and Danzo. Didn't say much. Danzo's face was gloomy, obviously because he lost the war, and he was very dissatisfied. But Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura don't have so many ideas. It's not good to say. They have been able to hold on until now, and they have not escaped, which is already very good. Can you expect these two wastes to play an extraordinary role in this war? Do not make jokes. That, Hiruzen. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's face, after gradually calming down. Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura looked at each other and then said. Well, just agree to Qingshan Ryuyun's request. Actually, it's okay if Tsunade is the next Hokage. Anyway, their elder position will not change, it doesn't matter at all. Never possible. It was Danzo who said this kind of refusal categorically. When I think of the position of Hokage that I am thinking of. It's going to belong to someone else soon, it's weird that Danzo can agree. Danzo's ideas, Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura can naturally be seen. Just experienced a war. Danzo at this time, it seems that there is still some embarrassment. Mitokado Homura's tone became a little sarcasm. No, Danzo, what you refute is simply, then Kurigakure, are you going to fight? What did you say? Like a hungry tiger, Danzo looked at Mitokado Homura viciously. After being said that, Mitokado Homura reacted, Danzo in front of him. But a veritable ruthless character. Mitokado Homura walked to the side of Sarutobi Hiruzen very heartily, afraid. But because of this, Mitokado Homura puts more emphasis on the inner thoughts. That is, Danzo must not be this Hokage. Otherwise, their elder Konoha must not be very stable. Okay. In the end, it was Sarutobi Hiruzen who waved his hand and blocked Danzo's stance of cannibalism. Humph. The police glanced at Sarutobi Hiruzen, and Danzo snorted dissatisfiedly. I didn't continue to say anything. At this time, Udatane Kaharu also stood up. I also think that Homura is right. In Konoha F4, Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura are in a joint relationship. Both of them belong to the kind of people who have little strength but are greedy for the power of the elders. Isshin only wants to maintain the position of the elder. As for the position of Hokage, the two old guys are still a little conscious. There is no hope at all. Udatane Kaharu said in a calm voice. Hiruzen, you should know that after this ninja war is over, you will definitely step down. During his reign, he faced 2 battles in the ninja world. And there was also a command error. I can't think of going down. Quote comma comma closing parenthesis. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not speak. I looked at Udatane Kaharu inexplicably. Old stuff, you are here to pierce your heart. Ahem. Udatane Kaharu cleared his throat, turned his gaze, and continued. If we really lose to Kurigakure, wouldn't it be possible for Konoha and even the entire ninja world to know that you, Sarutobi Hiruzen, are no longer the original Nino? Go on, although I don't want to admit it. But Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. Signaled Udatane Kaharu to continue. We cannot fail in this battle, at least the consequences of this failure cannot be borne by us. If you are happy, rush to it. But if it is to take responsibility, these people can run faster than anyone else. They don't want to be on their resumes. There is such a failure. Third Hokage, who has never failed in his life, in the future, if something unexpected happens to the new Hokage, you still have a chance. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes lit up. Seeking flowers 0. Opportunity. What opportunity? Of course it is a chance to become Hokage again. This is why, after 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato died. Why didn't Sarutobi Hiruzen choose a new Hokage, and chose to be on top again? It's because I am greedy for Hokage's power, and I don't want to let it go. But this time 4th Hokage, but Senju Tsunade. There is also Qingshan Ryuyun, the strongest creature in the sea, land and air. Sarutobi Hiruzen estimates that he can only wait for the unexpected to come slowly. But, I still hesitate. After all, this is the position of Hokage, especially Sarutobi Hiruzen. How can you say let go, let go? Seeing this, Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura both began to discourage them. Hiruzen, do you really want the whole world to see that you lost to Kurigakure? Absolutely not. Shook his head decisively. Sarutobi Hiruzen can cheeky and tell Konoha the new generation of ninjas. My own 3rd Hokage is the strongest Hokage in history. That is definitely a good face person. Anyway, you must never let your own resume show any failures. All right. Sarutobi Hiruzen finally compromised. Don't worry, Tsunade is the old man's apprentice after all, and your root power will not be threatened. Namikaze Minato can't stand up anymore. Apart from agreeing to Qingshan Ryuyun's conditions, they have no choice. Humph helplessly shook his head and said, I closed my eyes and left the meeting room directly. Didn't say anything. 8. Danzo. Danzo is the only one who can snort. Beckoned to Anbu outside. Up to now, Danzo has to accept the position of Hokage, and it is impossible to belong to him at all. Whatever you do. Angry. Very angry. The position of Hokage that I am thinking of. This old friend's thoughts, how could Sarutobi Hiruzen fail to see it? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. I am going to let Anbu send a message to Qingshan Ryuyun. Sarutobi Hiruzen no longer speaks. Chapter 122. You guys. Let's leave here. Advertise here. Ha 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 ha. At this time, in the Konoha camp on the battlefield of Iwagakure. Listening to Anbu's report, Qingshan Ryuyun laughed boldly. It seems that the old thing knows to be afraid too. Originally just talking, Qingshan Ryuyun really did not expect. The old guy Sarutobi Hiruzen really compromised. It seems that Sarutobi Hiruzen also knows very well. Even Hokage did not endure the negative impact of a defeat. Anbu, who was standing in front of Qingshan Ryuyun, was a bit dumb. I do not know what to say. After all, no matter what, the current Sarutobi Hiruzen is Hokage. Anbu also must follow Hokage's orders. Lord Ryuyun, there is nothing wrong, I will go back first. It seems that 947 is worried. If you continue to stay, will you hear any shocking remarks? So after saying a word, Anbu hurriedly prepared to leave. Let's go. He waved his hand indifferently. Yes. Relieved, Anbu left immediately. At this time, Hiashi and Hizashi on the side also quickly said, Congratulations, Lord Ryuyun. They have all decided to support Qingshan Ryuyun. Now I see that Sarutobi Hiruzen has compromised and let Tsunade become the next Hokage. That means that the plan is all successful. Okay. With such a compliment, Qingshan Ryuyun no longer wants to listen. Means nothing. Waved his hand, Qingshan Ryuyun said directly. Assemble the ninjas, this time, completely beat the dirt eater like Iwagakure back to my hometown. I want to support the Kurigakure battlefield. At least we have to deal with the affairs of the battlefield of Iwagakure before we finish. Yes, Hiashi and Hizashi didn't think much, turned around and were ready to go out and summon the ninjas. Although there is a big gap in the number of enemy ninjas. But with Qingshan Ryuyun, they don't think they will lose. And many more. Suddenly thinking of something, Qingshan Ryuyun waved his hand. Send another message to Tsunade, let her resolve Sand Shinobi village as soon as possible. Yes, Hiashi and Hizashi left, stand up from the main seat. Picking up the weapon mace on the side, resisting it on his shoulders. Qingshan Ryuyun smiled slightly, Rotten old things, you can never understand that strength is everything in this ninja world. Ah, power or something is nothing compared to absolute strength. With a disdainful smile, Qingshan Ryuyun no longer said anything. Temporary camp on the Iwagakure side. Onoki is in the conference room, discussing how to fight the next war. Yin. But this is a deafening dragon roar that spread throughout Iwagakure's territory. What happened? Oyemu didn't hesitate much, and immediately got up and walked out of the camp. 4 Tails Jinchuriki Old Purple, 5 Tails Jinchuriki Han, son of Tsuchikage Lois. And those thousands of rock shinobi. All came out one after another. It's just that when these people raised their heads, all their faces froze. What is that? Monster. That kind of thing actually exists. The dragon about 100 meters is flying above the clouds above the Iwagakure camp. Such a figure is even more exaggerated than the tail beast. Lao Zi and Han couldn't help but glance at each other. I have seen the taboo in the eyes of the other party. The strength of this guy is definitely going to surpass the tail beast. Qingshan Ryuyun. Onoki is also well informed. Although he was shocked, Onoki tried his best to stabilize himself. Reluctantly yelled in the direction of Qingshan Ryuyun. What the hell are you doing? Oyemu saw it. This dragon is Qingshan Ryuyun. After all, Qingshan Ryuyun looks like a half-dragon. Oyemu has still seen it. Well, even though Iwagakure exists, for me, there is nothing I can't beat. But. Speaking of this, Qingshan Ryuyun paused slightly. The figure of about 100 meters, looked down at the low Onogi. Just a look made Oyeki feel shuddering. This comes from the natural gap between species. Lousy next, there is something to do, so you Iwagakure, it's time to quit this ninja war. Damn it, Qingshan Ryuyun said so directly. If Onogi still can't understand the meaning of this. That's really silly. Isn't this obvious? Are you ready to kick Cloud Shinobi Village off the stage of the Third Ninja War? Onogi has never thought about it, his own Iwagakure. It was actually the first to exit. Impossible. If this is the case, it would be too embarrassing. Fortunately, from the beginning, Qingshan Ryuyun didn't feel that Onoki could directly agree. So, then I will give you a surprise. Smiled slightly. However, the current Qingshan Ryuyun is still completely dragonized. Such a smile, everyone at Iwagakure looks. It's so hideous and terrifying. Dragon breath. Boom, boom, boom. The continuous roar, constantly resounding. After being completely dragonized, Qingshan Ryuyun's dragon's breath flame has reached a level of absolute power. Destroy the dragon's breath like the sky and the sun. 0.8 light coverage. Towards the direction of Iwagakure camp, it pours down. Such power is too exaggerated. Onoki felt very shocked, let alone other Iwagakure ninjas. Some people are even ready to give up resisting. After all, such a battle, no matter how you look at it, you can't win it. Damn it. Don't give up. Defense. Start defense. As Tsuchikage, how could Onoki give up directly? After hearing Onoki's angry shout, all the ninjas of Iwagakure woke up like a world away. Earth-style the earth lingers on the walls. Just at Oyemu, Heian with both hands began to resist. Dust escape one original world stripping technique. Chapter 123 and the power of Shinobu. Advertise here. Except for the dust of Onoki. It can barely offset Qingshan Ryuyun's dragon's breath flame. Tsuchikage defense of other rock shinobi. Under the dragon's breath flame, I couldn't hold on for a second. Just like a ruin, it was directly shattered by the dragon's breath flame. Pung, pung, pung. Chen Dun's attack range is too small, and there is no way to move the entire camp. All protected, except for a little location around Onoki. In other places, all under the power of the dragon's breath flame. Turn into nothingness. Damn it. Seeing that his village was destroyed like this, how could Onogi not be angry? Don't underestimate my Tsuchikage. How do I say it is also a ninja who has experienced the Sengoku era? How is it possible to be beaten like this by a younger generation? Qingshan Ryuyun flickered in a pair of dragon-shaped vertical pupils. However, 19 did not expect that this third Tsuchikage Onoki would also explode. Put away the dragon's breath flame. Earth-style a rock giant. Onoki didn't hesitate, his hands quickly sealed. A rock giant about tens of meters rises from the ground. This should be because Onogi used all of his chakra. In order to condense such a rock giant. Bad wind. Although the explosion is good, it also depends on who the opponent is. Regarding the strength of Qingshan Ryuyun, no matter where Onoki is planted, it is impossible to beat it. The sharp wind blade constantly swept in the direction of the rock giant. Although he was willing to resist, in the face of Qingshan Ryuyun's strength. There is no way at all. I can only watch, the rock giant is constantly being cut under the power of the wind blade. Damn it. At this time, the old Z and Han, who were still standing on the ground, couldn't keep watching. Even if I don't like war anymore. But for Iwagakure, they all had to fight. Lava-style Wagwoshin. The steam is so powerful. One red and one white, two figures instantly jumped from the ground. At an extremely fast speed, approaching Qingshan Ryuyun in the sky. Court death. Sorry, in front of the dragon hundreds of meters, this old Z and Han are really like ants. Qingshan Ryuyun didn't even mean to look at each other directly. With a flick of the dragon's tail, the old Z and Han who jumped up directly flew out. Boom, boom. Two voices smashed two big holes in the ground. Ahem. This monster. Fortunately, with the physique of Lao Zi and Han, it is not straightforward to lose it, and it is still possible to stand up again. Han turned his head and looked at Lao Zi who was aside. Do you want to beasted? In this case, if you don't use the tail beast, you can't have the ability to fight against each other. No, this is Iwagaker's camp. Hear the tail beasts, they will lose their minds directly. At that time, I don't know if Qingshan Ryuyun can beat Qingshan Ryuyun. But Iwagaker, it must be gone. The man who understood what Lao Zi meant, didn't say much, just followed with a sigh. Unexpectedly, in this ninja world war, such a monster would actually appear. Yes, although many excellent ninjas were born in the first two battles in the ninja world. But it has never been before, with the power of one person, against the existence of a shinobu village. This is too strong to conform to common sense. My old man, Iwagaker's third Tsuchikage. Oyemu still wants to struggle next. Put your hands together, chakra is constantly consuming. Under the control of Onoki. The rock giant is constantly struggling, wanting to approach the direction of the dragon. Looking at this posture, it seems that they are not going to defeat Qingshan Ryuyun. As long as he can punch Qingshan Ryuyun, Oyemu is already very satisfied. Unfortunately, reality is so cruel. Enough. Boom. The boring battle is over. Turning back, the dragon's tail was directly drawn on the rock giant's body. Pung. With one blow, the rock giant collapsed instantly, and the figure of Onoki also fell down. Let's stop here. Qingshan Ryuyun started from above the clouds and fell to the ground. The body shape is constantly changing. From a completely dragonized state to a half-dragonized state. To deal with the current Iwagaker, half-dragon is enough. Thunder 8 trigrams. Holding a mace, under the shadow of the top armament hockey. On the mace, a dangerous thunder gleamed. Slammed in the direction of Onoki. It's over. Chakra consumes too much Onogi, and he doesn't even have the ability to maintain his figure, let alone to resist Qingshan Ryuyun's thunderous 8 trigrams. Onoki. Tsuchikage old man. At this moment, a red and white figure jumped out again. Blocked Oyemu's body. Boom. Thunder the power of 8 trigrams directly blasted on these two people. Even if someone blocked it, but facing this trick, it was still blown out. 950 really hurts. I almost feel like I'm going to die. After taking a look at the twisted arm, Lao Zi and Han looked at each other and smiled. Fortunately, I just broke one arm, at least my life was saved. The same fell, and Onoki. Looking at the old Z and Han who blocked the fatal injury for himself, Oyemu looked a little surprised. After all, in Iwagaker, the old Z and Han have always had a poor attitude towards Onoki. Oyemu never thought about it. One day I will be saved by Lao Zi and Han. Stop it. Although he saved Onoki. But Lao Zi and Han did not plan to talk more about this matter. We didn't mean to save you. Just for Iwagaker. The current Iwagaker is inseparable from Onogi. Looking at these two eyes, Onogi smiled. The old man understands. Hung. At the same time, Qingshan Ryuyun's figure also fell to the place. Fog and dust are everywhere. Qingshan Ryuyun in a half-dragonized state, carrying a mace. Slowly walked out of the fog and dust. Chapter 124 Iwagaker gave up. Advertise here. Protect Master Tsuchikage. At this time, the surviving rock shinobi, under the leadership of Huang Tu, immediately guarding the surroundings of Onogi. Holding a shuriken, his eyes panicked and firm, looking at the direction of Wuchen. The figure of Qingshan Ryuyun became more solid. Looking at these rock shinobi, I couldn't help but take a half step back. No way, the strength that Qingshan Ryuyun showed before. I really scared these ninjas in rock shinobi village. That kind of invincible power. That kind of invincible feeling is really desperate. Boom. Qingshan Ryuyun, who had already walked over, put the mace on his feet. For those rock shinobi who guard themselves, Qingshan Ryuyun is too lazy to care. A pair of eyes, looking with interest at Onogi, who is protected by many rock shinobi in the middle position. If you want to, you won't admit defeat. Forget it, let Lao Zi help Iwagaker and change to Tsuchikage. While talking, Qingshan Ryuyun's blue veins stretched on his arm, obviously he was ready to do it directly. Ahem. Wait, Onoki said quickly. Although I want to be honest, the old man is not afraid of life and death at all. But when it happened, Onogi was still a little bit embarrassed. What's more, they have all reached this point, and Iwagaker has no need to continue fighting. I'm Iwagaker. Ninjutsu. The gangsters of Cloud Shinobi Village can't say this, but Onoki doesn't care. Although it is shameful, but compared to being able to live, it is nothing at all. Dad, Huang Tu couldn't help but yelled. After all, for this ninja world war, they Iwagaker, but they have been preparing for a long time. There are a lot of things on it. Enough. Onoki still showed his majesty as Tsuchikage. I waved my hand directly, I didn't want to say anything to Huang Tu at all. I am Iwagaker's third Tsuchikage. Greater than. That's all said, what else can Lois say? It's impossible to refute Tsuchikage's order in public. Oyemu is not entangled anymore. Looking at Qingshan Ryuyun's direction, Oyemu said seriously. You Konoha won this war of Ninja World, and I, Iwagakure, will withdraw from this war of Ninja World. Ah, Qingshan Ryuyun chuckled and lifted his mace. Oyemu's reaction was expected by Qingshan Ryuyun. After all, if Qingshan has no worries about not having firewood to burn, Oyemu has always been very clear about it. This is boring, I thought you, Iwagakure, can still persist. Qingshan Ryuyun said with a pity. Quote, comma dot. In response, Onoki only flipped through Byakugan, saying that he did not want to speak. It's all like this. What are you still insisting on? Persevere until you, Qingshan Ryuyun, directly destroy the old man's Iwagakure. As if worried, Qingshan Ryuyun will really continue to do it. Onoki said quickly. You won this battle. We will return to Iwagakure immediately. This war of Ninja World will not end, and we will never come out. This is all right. Very sensible. Qingshan Ryuyun smiled and glanced at these surviving rock shinobi. Originally, facing their enemies, they should be unyielding or filled with righteous indignation. But actually, rock shinobi, who was scanned by Qingshan Ryuyun's eyes, involuntarily lowered his head. He didn't even have the courage to meet Qingshan Ryuyun. Let alone hatred. It's boring. There is no one with a bit of backbone. Shrugging, Qingshan Ryuyun turned around and went back. Call. After waiting for Qingshan Ryuyun's line of sight, completely disappearing from his line of sight. Onoki just sat down relaxedly. Same as Onoki, there are many rock shinobi. When Qingshan Ryuyun was there just now, they really were. I don't even dare to speak big words. Dad, did we go back like this? The first village to withdraw from the Ninja World War, this is too embarrassing. Onoki glanced at the Lois. Seeing his son's unwillingness. I didn't care much, I just said lightly. You can continue to insist, we return to the village, you continue to fight with that Qingshan Ryuyun. Yes, Lois is not a fool. How could it not be heard? These words are plainly mocking the Lois. Lois doesn't have much to say. I can only stand aside dully. After resting for a while, Onogi stood up again. Quote dot. There are more and more monsters in Konoha village. Such a village feels that it will be more difficult to deal with in the future. With Qingshan Ryuyun's strongest creature, Qingshan Ryuyun is here, Onoki doesn't feel that this war of Ninja World will threaten Konoha. Never mind. Oyemu who no longer entangles anything. We waved our hands feebly, realizing that after everyone cleaned up. You can return to Iwagakure. Greater than greater than greater than. At the same time, Qingshan Ryuyun on the other side, who was instantaneous, returned to the camp on Konoha's side. Hyuga Hiyashi and Hyuga Hazashi at this time. And assembled all the ninjas in the camp. The number of 700 to 800 people, although not many, but one by one, they all seem very confident. After the previous war, let these people know that as long as Qingshan Ryuyun is there, they will never lose. This absolute strength is the most reassuring. Master Ryuyun. At this time, after seeing New Oli's, Qingshan Ryuyun came back. Brothers Hiyashi and Hazashi walked over immediately. Master Ryuyun, the ninjas are all assembled, although they can fight Iwagakure. Iwagakure. What Iwagakure? Having said that, Qingshan Ryuyun still has some doubts. But for Qingshan Ryuyun's reaction, Hiyashi was also puzzled. It's our opponent, Iwagakure. They have already given up. What do you think it is? Qingshan Ryuyun waved his hand and said indifferently. Ah, when Hyuga Hiyashi heard this, his face was full of astonishment. Not only Hyuga Hiyashi, those ninjas who assembled. After hearing what Qingshan Ryuyun said, I was also very puzzled. Iwagakure surrendered. When is it? Why don't we know? Chapter 125 There is a time for a foolish man. Advertise here. Master Ryuyun. Hyuga Hiyashi said that he was very puzzled and didn't know what happened. Faced with so many doubtful eyes. After Qingshan Ryuyun waved his hand, he said indifferently. I went to the group of Iwagakure just now, and they made sense, and then they gave up. Quote dot. It's so simple, reasonable. I'm afraid it's not reasonable with your fists. At this time, Hiyashi and others believed that the people of Iwagakure had already given up. After all, Qingshan Ryuyun has no need to lie to them. What's more, Qingshan Ryuyun still smells of gunpowder smoke on Qingshan Ryuyun's body. Obviously it was like having just experienced a battle. Although it has been known for a long time, Qingshan Ryuyun is very strong. And too strong. But after knowing that Qingshan Ryuyun had beaten Iwagakure by one person, all of them surrendered. Everyone still feels like a world away. Almost living in a dream. Long live Lord Ryuyun. Master Ryuyun is invincible. Victory will belong to Konoha. Those Konoha 950 ninjas, after looking at each other, cheered very tacitly. There is this kind of command that thinks to lead the team. They are just here to make soy sauce. Then Lord Ryuyun, we. Hyuga Hiyashi asked suspiciously. Now that Iwagakure has been defeated, it is impossible for them to come out to watch the show. Assemble you, I am ready to move to the battlefield of Kurigakure. In all battlefields, only Sarutobi Hiruzen, the place led by 3rd Hokage, is a disadvantage. In other battlefields, I can't say that it has a big advantage, but there are still some small advantages. Sarutobi Hiruzen, this Hokage. What a shame. I see. Hyuga Hiyashi, who reacted, had a face full of surprise. There is no need for Qingshan Ryuyun to give any special orders. After all, since those rock shinobi have been beaten back to their hometown, then they don't need to stay here anymore. Just in time, I can go to Kurigakure. BJAI. Soon, Iwagakure surrendered and withdrew from the news of the ninja war. Spread throughout the entire ninja world, Konoha fell into a cheer. Basically everyone is cheering the name Qingshan Ryuyun. That guy, Cloud Shinobi Village here, 4th Raikage Yui, just about to summon ninjas. Let's find Jiraiya and the others to fight. Suddenly received such a message. When is this Onoki so trash? Cloud Shinobi Village and Iwagakure have always been in a relationship of feud. Onoki can't look down on such a reckless man in Cloud Shinobi Village. Yui naturally doesn't look down on Iwagakure. Saying that, but Yi's face is still very dignified. Without the restraint of Iwagakure, they don't know whether Qingshan Ryuyun will return to this battlefield next time. Speaking of which, fortunately, Qingshan Ryuyun was transferred to the battlefield. Mabuyi and Samui on the side couldn't help but sigh. Otherwise, our Cloud Shinobi Village will be the first to withdraw from the Ninja World War. If that were the case, their Cloud Shinobi Village would really be ashamed. Quote, comma. Although some people who are loyal to Cloud Shinobi Village, after hearing this, they want to refute. But I don't know how to say it. After all, in the previous 2 years, Cloud Shinobi Village has always been hanged by Qingshan Ryuyun. That is, Qingshan Ryuyun has never fought seriously. Otherwise, their Cloud Shinobi Village would have withdrawn from this ninja war long ago. Okay. Yi waved his hand, saying that he no longer wanted to hear such topics. No matter what, even if this war will be lost, the reputation of our Cloud Shinobi Village must be played out. There are monsters like Qingshan Ryuyun, even if Yi is reckless. But now I don't think that Cloud Shinobi Village can beat Konoha with Qingshan Ryuyun. However, it would be too embarrassing to just admit defeat. At least, let's talk about a few battles now. We must let everyone in the ninja world know. In fact, their Cloud Shinobi Village is not weak at all. Yes, after everyone looked at each other, they all responded together. Of course, everyone's faces are somewhat worried. After all, they don't know, they defeated Qingshan Ryuyun of Iwagakure. Which battlefield to go back next? It's really you. Tsunade, who also received the message. The beautiful eyes are full of smiles. This is the man I fancy, absolutely invincible strength. The strength of Ryuyun-kun has indeed exceeded everyone's imagination. Even Orochimaru couldn't help being stunned after receiving such news. Iwagakure ninjutsu, and it was beaten by Qingshan Ryuyun alone to admit defeat. This strength is simply too much. Ha 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 ha. Orochimaru's words made Tsunade couldn't help but smile happily. Then you think this is the old lady's man. Somewhat proud. The more you praise Qingshan Ryuyun, isn't this just a proof from the side, my mother's vision is absolute. For the position of Hokage, Tsunade just didn't have this concept and idea before. The current Tsunade, have you ever experienced the death of Naoki and her boyfriend? Orochimaru, who was still sighing, couldn't help but glanced at Tsunade speechlessly. There is no more entanglement on this issue. After regaining his gaze, he said lightly. I don't know if I can do this Hokage. My grandfather and second grandfather are both Konoha's Hokage. For Konoha, I dedicated everything I have. Now it's my turn to become this Hokage. Tsunade is still a little lost. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Hokage. Orochimaru on the side clearly saw that Tsunade was at a loss. This news, Tsunade also received. However, it is not 100% successful. I heard that Elder Danzo has always been very coveting the position of Hokage. But looking at the message Qingshan Ryuyun sent to Tsunade. But now after talking about it, Tsunade's eyes are still somewhat complicated. It seems that Ryuyun-kun wants you to be the 4th Hokage. When talking about this position of Hokage, Tsunade still sighed.